big orbital drop comes right through the atrium. We all just dive left or right.
Welcome to another special edition of Banter and Babble live at the Midland Mall Comic-Con. It is Sunday, March 3rd. It is day 2. And, Tone, I think we actually slept better last night than we did the night before. The first night we were covered.
Yeah.
Oh, he says he can't hear us.
Who can't hear us?
Blanco.
Oh.
Is he playing games? Because I see it showing up right now.
Yeah.
See, he said
Oh,
gotcha.
my
He's a
God.
scumbag.
It's freaking Sunday morning, and we've been through
Yeah, dude,
like
don't you sleep? Man, just hops in here and trolls
Blanco.
1 minute into the show.
Blanco.
He got me.
we just went through Comic Nom yesterday, and like
Comic nom. Yeah, we're all suffering a little PTSD here this morning.
Yeah. No, back to the sleep. Yes. I think that both of us didn't sleep very well Friday night because the anxiety, maybe, or not. You just the
And just
excitement.
your,
It's a mix of all.
And absolutely.
You're riding high. And last night, I think what helped was the massive amount of food from Timbers and the near 2 mugs of beer too.
God.
But I was exhausted driving to Timbers. I'm like, I'm really tired. I was really tired, anyways. So.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on staying out late last night. The only thing that kept me there longer is when Jeff from 7D said that Nick Cage is the weakest link in all of his movies, and I was like, "What did you just say?"
Dude, and that conversation didn't stop.
It didn't stop, man.
We were having that on the way home.
We locked horns, and it wasn't even an agree to a disagree situation. It was just like, "You're wrong."
Right.
I wasn't having it.
He made the comment that the reason Willy's Wonderland was so good is because Nick Cage had no speaking parts.
I mean, he's not wrong because like Nick Cage had to do some acting without dialogue, which is no easy feat. But I understood Jeff's perspective and what he was saying and disrespecting the one true God.
Yeah.
And that's unacceptable.
We don't
But
do that.
Tone, we're back,
Yeah.
and we're sitting here with our good buddy Drassen from
Yes.
70 Dungeons.
That's right. This
And
guy.
you're running some D&D one-shots all day again?
Absolutely. Again. A few less today because it's shorter today.
Sure, yep.
But yeah. Yesterday we were slammed,
Yes.
for sure. Almost all the giveaways are gone.
Either they were won or actual giveaways.
Yeah, they were literally a giveaway.
To all the attendees of the Midland Mall, you're welcome.
Not to all, just a select few that just said, "Hey, I won, and I don't need to be a part of the drawing.
Right.
I won."
Oh, you mean this has got a 5-figure discount? Let me take that one.
You all giving away this laptop here? I'm just
Man.
walking away with it.
Yeah, but I mean, other than that, I mean, again,
was
it's the one shots are always kind of like a highlight, along with like Creations by Generations. There are Ghostbusters. I mean, you guys do something that people really enjoy, and they show up whether they're new or experienced, and they have a good time with it.
Yeah, and I think that so some really great stuff happened yesterday. So I had a group come to the table, and I was like, I'm getting old, right? So like I recognize some faces slightly, but then everyone's in costume.
Right. Oh,
So-
yeah. Yep.
So I get and the one gal's like, "It's my birthday today," and I'm like, "Your birthday girl from last year," and she's like, "Yeah." She's like, they signed up for my table.
Yeah.
And they signed up at my table last year. So, like, by fate, they sat at my table 2 years in a row. So, that was really fun. I've had some great sessions. I've had probably the craziest session ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. From Midland. So, yeah. The attendees of Midland this year have chosen chaos.
Oh, really?
all right.
And we just roll with it.
Yeah.
But Jeff from 7D, he's running a family friendly table this year. So
Oh, nice. Okay.
there was a lot of kids groups, so getting to introduce the
good.
younger
I
crowd
could see him
to
being
D&D
good for that. Yeah.
has been fantastic considering like some of our past and what we dealt with at
Right.
that age. So it was great, and we got great feedback of like, we're so happy you guys are doing this, and
Good.
how do we do this at home? So we've been able to have those conversations. So
Important conversations.
and, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's awesome. And Jeff doing the family with the kids is probably a great idea as well too. A little
Yeah.
more patience than probably some other members of the 7D crew.
That's for sure.
As for all of you watching at home, as you can tell, sometimes the internet will dip. Hopefully the audio sounds good, but I've already seen a couple of spikes. That's what happens when you use kind of like Wi-Fi in a massive setting like this. So hopefully everything still sounds good, but I did see a little bit of a spike there or a little bit of a drop in the internet. But I heard a couple of those. I saw a couple of them yesterday. I went back and checked them out, and you can still hear the audio pretty clear, and that's all I really care about at this point.
That's a big piece, yeah.
But I mean, obviously, then this is your third year.
This is our third year and our third location.
Yeah, it's the third location.
So
trying to find the optimal spot to do D&D sessions.
yeah, and ideally, like, you know, we had the storefront the first year, but that even wasn't real optimal because, like, you got to have the right signage and
Sure.
advertise. And,
Yeah,
and
nobody-
it was our first
yeah,
year. We didn't know, right?
People walk through.
Last year we were behind the main stage. That was definitely the worst.
Man, that was loud.
I could not have this conversation right now last year because my voice was shot. This year we're down by the food court, which is good because we
Yes.
are close to a bathroom. And we are,
That's a plus, yeah.
we're close to food. So, and it's a lot more quiet
That's
down
good.
there.
That's
So we're in a really good location. It's just getting people to find out where we're at.
Sure.
We were able to, I got to run through here very early yesterday and do some networking with some of the D&D vendors that are around here. So we got some business cards and we set them up down there so that we can help promo them.
Excellent.
A lot of them have come down and donated to our daily raffle and stuff. So
Awesome.
we really appreciate the love and support that we've gotten from the vendors and community here at Midland Mall so far.
Awesome.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Everyone else is doing good down there, though?
They're surviving. I tell you, the first year it was just me and Mike.
Yeah.
And
It was a lot.
it was a lot.
Even for the setup, right?
Yeah, so it was pretty chaotic, and we learned a lot. I tell you, last year some of the wives came with us, and a few of our other members. Jeremy from 7D They drive 10 hours to get here
10 hours.
to help out him and his wife, and we could not do it without them and my wife and his wife being there,
Right.
running things, coordinating, getting everything done, keeping an eye on stuff, getting us food, keeping us organized.
Yeah,
So,
I was going to say it's probably easier for you so you can, like, not only focus more on the matches, you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about trying to rush through because you got more tables, you got more people doing, sessions. So, I mean, that's, I know what I did. I already know what I said. I said the M word. I didn't mean madness. I meant,
he did it on purpose.
I mean, I might have just for the reaction.
And then just to deboot, that shirt over there is just staring.
Nickelback. We should get him on.
Shut up.
You guys would have a lot to talk about. All the
Peanut
concerts,
gallery's laughing too
all the
back there.
concerts you've been to. I mean, you are a Chad Kroger stan.
I am not.
Look at this photograph.
I'm gonna go over there. and
Every
fight
time
somebody.
I do, it makes me laugh.
But I mean, like having all that support down there again, it helps you kind of like streamline things a little bit, and you're sitting
Yeah.
there, and it's easier to manage stuff when you have more people around.
Yeah. So it's fantastic having there. Jeff, this is his first year doing this.
Yes.
We're running 3 tables this year. So we've seen some tables not fill up as much as they did last year, but we also have additional sessions. So we're still getting a higher volume, but it looks
Right.
less compared to last year. So we still have a few spots open for today, but there's not a whole lot.
And who knows what today? And today's Sundays are different because the mall typically opens up later, so people inherently think about that. So we'll probably surge heavy right around noon
Oh, yeah.
and 1 o'clock. It's probably gonna be madhouse in here, and more than signups, and of course the cosplay contest coming up at 2. So it's gonna be probably a hard spike. I'm suspecting that today. At the very least, too. So you might fill up some spots as well, too, in the afternoon.
Yeah,
we'll
I'm
see,
not
so.
worried at all. We only had one. We had a full table sign up yesterday for one of Mike's, and just nobody showed up, which is kind of strange.
That one was
wild.
kind of bizarre when he said that somebody just a whole group didn't show up. But I mean things happen and people sometimes can't make it. So
Yeah. I mean it's free, so
I mean there's no investment to do it. So if you can't make it, you can't make it.
that's the message we want to get out again this year, 3 years in a row. We're not charging for this,
Right, yeah.
Right.
Just come down and play.
Come have a good time
And
here.
the other thing is we don't care if it's your first time.
Right.
I had somebody come to the table and they're like, "Oh, I've never played before. I've always been interested, but I can't play here because I've never played before." And I was at my table and I'm like, "How many of you have never played before?" And 3 or 4 people raised their hand. I'm like, "This is what it's about."
Yeah, it
You
really
know?
is. I mean, I'm sure it's cool to have experienced people show up, but I mean, I feel like one shots in a setting like this is to kind of pique people's interest, or maybe the people who are sort of kind of curious about it, and it's a small time investment, and jump in and kind of get a taste for it. Is this something I really want to get into? And more often than not, you got people buying stuff on their way out and trying to grab things so they can start their little sessions at home.
Yeah, yeah, and I had a couple people in some of my sessions yesterday. They're like, this is the first like one shot that I've ever done.
That's awesome.
And the one gal, she was like, that's some of the most fun I ever had. Like that was great. And that's what it's all about, right? We just want you to have fun. It's all homebrew. We write all this stuff up.
That's what I love about it, man. Is all the effort, the individual effort, like creating these scenarios and creating these adventures for people.
So it's so
that's
fun.
rad.
And being able to like adapt and flip on a dime if you need to too.
And I have had to. You write this stuff up, and like I've been DMing now 6 years.
Like as a full-time kind of thing, yeah. As a full-time hobby, I guess.
Right. So like on a near weekly basis, right? I'm pretty good about figuring out like this is what my players will do. People come up with the craziest stuff, and I'm like, yes, that works great. You can absolutely do that. So it's really fun seeing the wheels turn in people of trying to figure out the puzzle and figure things out. And I mean, my first session yesterday was full chaos. I had one player that chopped the hand off of another player within the first 15 minutes.
Jeez,
that's incredible.
They didn't have the synergy yet. They didn't have that team synergy, and you got working together.
Or symmetry apparently after that.
Right.
I have yet to have, because in mine they start off separated. I've yet to have groups stop in the next room and introduce themselves to each other. Like they all just work as like a semi unit to get out, and
That's
like
funny.
they don't even say what their name is.
Do you give them pointers like along the way, like
Yes.
hey, maybe try this next time, or if maybe these are some of the more nuanced things that you might not have thought about doing.
Right. Yeah. And we've even learned some stuff that we need to take care of this year for a next time.
Right.
Sure,
So like when you
already,
like you look at how you write a story out and make it a little bit more accessible. I mean, because like you've been doing this for a long time, so like you have a pretty good idea of like how you want your adventures to play out. But I'm sure that sometimes there's little things you're like, oh, they probably didn't know to do this or to ask to do this or anything like that.
And we try to keep it very simple. So, and I think I might have mentioned it before, but when doing a one shot, we use an idea thought process called the 5-room dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
So it usually involves a skill check of some sort, a trap, a puzzle, a minor encounter, and a major encounter.
Okay.
So it's built around experiencing all that D&D has to offer, but can fit inside a small thing. So like we're getting really good at writing these things up.
That's awesome. Though.
Sometimes you have great creative input too, by the way.
Not as
Yeah,
much.
your wife is awesome. She's
Yeah,
she's really clever when it comes to that
She really
stuff.
digs in there and says, "Yeah, you roll the dice here."
So a couple things here. First of all, I do want to point out, because I do want to say something to Block.
That you don't know how to turn on the keyboard. Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah, it's some Apple.
Hand it down here,
It's
old
some,
man.
that is one of them. Yeah, I can't talk to you, Blanco.
Look at the whole power button on the side here. Just hold
Oh,
it
it's on
down
the side.
and-
Who does that?
Apple.
really weird.
Yeah, that's really. Isn't that weird?
That's really
That's
weird.
okay. So I'm not alone on that one.
Sorry, it doesn't
Okay.
have big on letters.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it just doesn't work half the time. So, we did coordinate, by the way, the new beer.
Yeah,
Quest
I didn't get the
shirts.
memo, so that's cool.
He could buy it from the store if he wanted.
I didn't get the memo to know that we were doing that on Sunday.
But yeah, so if you guys are familiar with around here, 7D, B&B, and Half-Ass Beer Review, we like to get together and do beer quests and stuff like that. So we finally got the logo done here not too long ago. So this is a new shirt. So I'm finally displaying it in public. Really excited about it. And apparently we didn't coordinate or did
didn't
coordinate
cue me in
somehow.
on that one.
Didn't cue him on that one. But either way, with that too. So kind of in the D&D vein, but on the video game side of it, we've talked so much about Baldur's Gate 3, so many different things. It's so interesting because we're talking about how like you're getting people spinning and doing wild stuff to you, and you got to be adaptable. Yesterday was the first time once again that I've talked to somebody that's played Baldur's Gate and told me a scenario that he had happened that I had still not heard, and maybe just because I don't always talk about it or I don't read about a lot of stuff in life. He said that he and the orcs he was siding with the orcs and attacked the druid village.
You can do that?
You okay?
I had no idea that
So
was a thing.
You can totally side with the goblins or
goblins, yeah.
and attack the druid grove.
That was the first time I had heard that.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't do a lot of like diving into everybody's separateness. It's been more fun to like when I talk to friends like, yeah, I was playing Baldur's Gate and we compare notes like the first like act or something.
And it
Because that's what
actually
everybody.
What do you go
believe.
talk to Ogre on that rock beforehand? Like
no, it's a whole separate thing.
Really?
Like, and you actually, it allows you to get a new companion that you can't get otherwise unless you do that.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
He said that he attacked the
crazy.
druid grove with the goblins, and I was like, "What? I've never heard that. I didn't realize that was a thing." That's a hey, what up, Chance Pants?
So here's something that's curious. So one of our guys, the guy that plays Oz, right? He has done I think 3 to 4 playthroughs of Baldur's Gate.
Oh wow!
And when you think about that,
4, that's a lot of time
that's a
invested.
lot.
That is.
And one of the other guys in our community has done a couple playthroughs, and they are both still like, they'll be like, "Did you see this? No. Where was that at?"
Oh
They're
my
still
God.
finding things.
I gotta download. I gotta re-download it and finish or not finish it, but at least spend some more
I
time with
haven't
it.
even finished it.
I know. Yeah,
I had to
no,
remove it just because it's a huge file.
It's a massive file.
on console. So I got to re-download that, and maybe get back into it because I love hearing stories like that. How people keep discovering stuff. I'm just like,
dude, I know it's
Come
crazy.
on.
And like I said, since I don't read online, I don't know all the possible scenarios. Which, that's just not how I do that. You know what I mean? You'd think I would with something like that, but I've found it's been more entertaining with talking to people and their experiences and comparing notes, what everybody did. What'd you do with this scenario? I'm like, some people are like, I never even saw that. Or I'm like, I never even saw that. Some people don't even get one of the coolest characters, that you can get right in the beginning of the game.
Go to the
Karlak.
Underdark. That's my suggestion.
What's that?
He said go to the Underdark.
Go to the Underdark.
oh, because you get that point where you can either go through. Man, he was like, stay away
Well,
from the
because
Underdark.
it can be that bulwark or whatever. Or Bulwark. Yeah, that thing.
Bullet? Yeah.
That thing was.
They're mean.
That was tearing me up.
Very mean.
Very mean. But I did take care of one of the other cool like mini bosses that you kind of slink back around and find. That
Yeah,
was
that one?
really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't have any problem with that one.
That one was
But the Bulwark, fuck.
that one was interesting because it was like it's a puzzle along with combat. There's a couple things going on there.
There's so much things going on down there.
But
so.
it's so much to take in. That game, there's so much going on there. And what I like is it's getting people to ask questions about D&D and get interested in the actual game.
Well, because I know this isn't new, but like, as a D&D, streamer, D&D player pretty heavily, have a game come out like that, and we've had them before, but this one really replicates without everything else that you would normally play in a D&D session, a true like representation in so many ways.
Yeah,
like
it's
all
the
of
bear
it.
sex.
It's what?
It's the bear sex.
And that'll do it for today's Comic-Con
we gotta
stream.
get
We
Seven
will
off
see
here.
you. Yep. But
Skeletor over here is dope.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and I want to talk to Causing Trouble. That's I was hoping she was gonna cause that
Dude,
today.
that's really
So
good.
I'm gonna
That's
I'm
really
gonna go
good.
reach out in a minute.
But anyways, going back to Baldur's Gate. Now, I mean, Baldur's Gate 3, great example. What was that game that we played that was terrible? Remember the D&D game that we were super excited about?
Oh,
Yeah,
the one with Dritz and the it was one. Of,
Yeah, the
It was
one with
the-
the Drizzt Durden.
Yeah,
in
we
it.
could
Yeah.
play
Knock
co-op.
that
Oh my
shit off.
god, that was. Hey, there's your one. God, he's already swearing. It's Sunday.
well, I mean, he provoked me.
He did. He did.
To be fair, I was provoked on that
Yeah,
one.
the one. That
I
was
can't
on-
remember the game. It was so bad.
It was
I have the box art in my
yeah,
head.
Dungeons
like,
and Dragons. It was the what's that game, Blanco? The one with
can't remember what it's
the
the co-op. It was.
with Dritz and Brunner and Wolfgar and Katie Bree.
The thing about that game, like the gameplay itself wasn't
Can't think of
The
terrible.
off
level
hand.
design was good, but it was just. It was the
AI was
it was so bad.
But
garbo.
didn't they
It
fix
was-
some of that? I wonder if that's any good to go
No,
back to.
no, I went back and it's still really bad.
God dang it!
It's,
Yeah.
it's
I was so
no.
hyped
I
for
mean,
that game.
after playing something like Baldur's Gate 3, I have no interest going. I mean, I hope they make another third-person like D&D game that's a better game. But like the only one I want to play right now is Baldur's Gate 3. And just from this conversation, like that's all I want to go play now because you guys talk about
I
it.
want to get away from the Baldur's Gate story though, because there's so many other worlds that are
Right.
out there. I mean, you could do a Neverwinter in this vein or something else, or really what I'd want to see, and we'll see what Tone's reaction to this.
Dark
is,
Alliance.
There it is.
Oh God, it's escaping my head. The big city there on the Sword Coast, the biggest
Are you
city,
talking like Waterdeep?
Waterdeep, like a Waterdeep based.
But here's the thing is, and this is the last thing I'll say about all that stuff is, because I agree, like there's more, but like we always focus on the Sword Coast. Like,
Yes.
why can't we go to Cormyr? Why can't we
Yeah,
deal with
that too.
the Azun lineage, or here's a great idea. I know Elminster would be a big subplot in that or whatever, but like why not like the Dale area and Mr. Nor and all that stuff. Mr. Nor's got such deep lore with the elves, and like when it was just the ruins and stuff like that, it had connections to like like some of the Underdark and stuff like that. There's a lot you could do with like that central area, and they never touch that area,
or at least something that gets you onto the plains. Like,
yeah, even that.
Oh
like,
man,
I mean, even like, why not? Because I mean, we got a Planescape game came out years ago, and that's another great one of those old school veins. Like the Planescape like campaign setting is my second favorite because all that stuff with Sigil and the City of Doors, like there's a lot you can do. That it's basically like the key to the multiverse at that point.
Yeah.
There's so much you could do with that. So I don't know. Anyways, I digress.
Yeah.
That could be this could be a whole conversation.
This could be a whole. We're gonna
for another show.
For another show and another day. But I know. Yeah, I could talk forever on it.
The biggest problem we've had with being here at Midland is there's no one to defend democracy right now. So
that's I wanted to hop on and drop down and see and do my part, but I just couldn't make it down the stairs, dude. I was exhausted last night. But I'm gonna be on that tomorrow, dude. I'm off tomorrow, and I'm gonna be defending democracy all day.
So
no.
Peace to all those
Rebirth.
The brothers and sister divers that we've lost over the last few days.
Without any support.
Without the support of some of us.
Seriously, if y'all haven't played Helldivers 2 either on
You're
PC or PS5, you're missing out. It is currently, obviously we're early on, and Tone will have a different opinion once he plays more than 37 minutes of Rebirth, but Helldivers 2 is currently my Game of the Year contender. But until then, I'll be defending democracy often.
But think about that. This is the thing that gets me. So Larian is not a big studio who makes Baldur's Gate.
Right, yep.
And Game of the Year.
Game of the Year.
And just a cultural explosion.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows what Baldur's Gate 3 is, right? Helldivers, small studio.
Yeah. Their first game was a top-down twin-stick shooter with all the same core mechanics.
And look, if you just go on Instagram, you couldn't scroll for 5 minutes without finding a Helldivers video on there. Like, kudos to these small studios, non-AAA studios, building games that are changing the culture, and a wake-up call to the AAA studios because stop pushing crap out. What is that? The Skull and Bones?
Man, that thing's like flatlining already.
Skull and what? Because nobody cares.
Anthem.
Oh,
I mean,
man,
don't even bring that up. What are you doing that
That's
for?
what I'm saying is like, when do we degrade their rating as a AAA studio when they keep pushing
when you get
crap out?
when you get bopped down to a AA studio, when you lose your AAA rating.
When you lose your credit rating. So
no one knows. Spoilers. No one knows if it's hacks or what, but a mech, a suit, and PTV are spotted in games.
So it was a data mine.
Yes. I remember you told me about that. Yep.
Yeah. So this is pretty common. Like I play several games where people data mine this stuff, and the developer can't stop it because they're basically just going into the download files and pulling this stuff out.
Yep.
There is going to be a writable mech that you can call down. We've seen images of it already.
Magitech armor.
There were several vehicles in the first Helldivers, and when you can call down the mech. Now the thing about the mech was it's fun, but you can do a lot of team damage with that thing. I mean, it is unwieldy as hell, but it does a lot of damage.
Yeah. The other thing, they're going hard into the stealth mechanics.
Yes. Subsonic ammo.
Subsonic ammo has already been talked about. The developer's already said that's his favorite.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if he realized when he said that what he was telling people. Like I don't know if that's something they wanted to announce just yet, but
I love how active they are on social media and how excited about the game that he is. And it's not a fake excitement that you see from some of the other studios. The guy's just like, oh guys, wait till you see this. Or like, we screwed up. Like
they have a plan in place, and like you said, now that they figured out the server issues and they're starting to kind of fix some of the other bugs, like the matchmaking and things of that nature, like it's starting to really grow. And I think, like I said, people are really starting to get into it. And there's things they got to tweak to kind of eliminate some issues that have popped up. The focus on grinding for samples as opposed to completing objectives and liberating planets. So I mean, there's little things, but overall, it's just something that I really enjoy playing with friends. It's fun, it's challenging, and the core gameplay loop is chef's kiss.
Yeah. So it's been good, but. Yeah, no, Midland's gone well.
It has gone well. We have just a few more hours. What time is your last session?
I don't know.
He doesn't know yet. Because I remember, was it last year or the year before where you had groups in?
The first year we added more players and more sessions. Last year I think we added additional sessions as well.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, we upped our table count so to kind of mitigate that.
That's
so
awesome.
We'll see. I know I've only got 2 today. Mike only has 2 today. Jeff has 3. Just because we staggered them this year so that we could get a restroom break.
those come in useful, yeah.
So yeah, like the first year we got no breaks. And the second year we're like, we'll put 15 minutes between the sessions and for a bathroom break. It was not enough.
No.
So this year we did 30 minutes between our sessions and staggered them. It's still almost not enough.
Barely enough, yeah. It's like the bare minimum.
Good idea, though.
Just to reset your head and like get ready for the next, because you got to clean everything up, get everything recovered for the next session, recollect everything, and then go pee.
No, that's like I said, man. That's awesome. I know you got to get back. I know you got some your first session is at 11 o'clock.
Awesome.
I do that because I hope Mike watches this and gives us a big thumbs
Let's
down.
not fuel the fire there.
Yeah, I know, man. I know
Dumping
better.
gasoline on the bonfire. As
Yeah,
it
he'll
is.
come down here.
But no, man, we appreciate you taking the time. And like I said, we know you're busy and we love hanging out with you. Next time, please let me know about what shirt to wear. But no, man, always a good time hanging out with you and seeing it. And I appreciate it. I can't make you any promises that I haven't already tapped into the beer.
I mean, have you at all?
I can't talk about it right now.
No, it's fine if you
No,
do.
I will talk about when I'm ready to talk about it.
Okay, I want to see him cracked open on the show, at least one.
I mean, I'll show you the empty bottles.
That's fine. As long as you give me an honest of what you like about them.
As long as Tone doesn't get to open any of the bottles, that's fine.
But I
want 'em.
am brewing something right now. It's fermenting as we speak. I'm not telling you guys what we're
a
doing,
secret.
and the first time you'll know anything about it is when you crack it open and taste it yourself.
Yeah, well, don't fuck it up.
Oh, jeez. We get an
Well, that's
S-bomb
two.
and an
That's
F-bomb
2.
already.
I think he just got banned from YouTube.
Well,
Wow.
it's too early for all this, anyways.
He's very comfortable today. In his second day, he gets real comfortable over there.
I drank some beer last night. I'm a little loopy today.
Yeah. He tied one on last night.
I had that stout that from the Armory place.
Yeah.
Man, that was good.
Good,
I
good.
had
It's good
2
stuff.
talls. And
Yeah.
it was
Yeah. Food was good. Timbers is a great place here in the area.
Except the ranch.
No, it
Yeah,
doesn't.
it
Anyways.
wasn't.
Ew, gross.
It wasn't
Gross.
worth the
Tone
Tone
time.
said it was good.
If you want great homemade ranch, you got to go to Levi's. Their ranch is.
Doesn't matter. All ranch is well ranch.
Tone just kept putting ketchup on everything. It was freaking weird.
It was weird, man. He's like,
Like-
"Can I have extra ketchup on my burger, please?" And I was
He's
like,
putting it on his mashed potatoes or
Yeah,
something.
it
It was
yeah.
strange.
It's kind of sad. What happened to the Green System program has been canceled by the FCC. Yeah, man, that's what happens when you bring this guy.
Whoops.
He gets
my
real
bad.
comfortable
Yeah,
up
yeah,
here.
yeah. All right. Well, hey.
But Tone, what do we got lined up for today? We've got
Well, I got
interviews.
on Target's going to be here. Jeff from On Target shortly here. And then let's see. We've got Lee from the Laser Combat crew going to be on. We got Kenneth, one of our artist pals and
Kenneth
good
Leonard.
pals of the con here as well too. So and much more. I'm going to try and grab one of the other cosplay professional cosplayers that we have running around here doing the judges as well too. So
We see a
Gonna be a
half-ass
stacked day.
beer review walking around.
we got a little HABR. Josh was doing some photography and film work. He's kind of like the guy out there doing like satellite work while we're all sitting here.
He's in
so.
one of my sessions. I think he's in my next session.
Oh,
actually,
really?
Maybe.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool.
perfect.
Does he
So-
have his shirt on? Can I expect him to have a shirt? Maybe I should just take yours.
We send the memos out, but we expect that everyone
Yeah.
has above a 3rd grade reading level. So
Well, that's your fault for assuming that.
Right,
yeah,
right.
it is our fault. No, but he's in one of our sessions. Actually, he was giving Mike was giving him a hard time. He's like, other people run sessions besides Draston.
Yeah, but I feel like if anybody wants to get trolled on, he wants to troll you.
You know what was surreal?
Uh-oh.
Like real quick here. So we laminated our character sheets this year and
Yeah.
used dry erase markers so
Yep.
that save printing costs and things like that.
Smart.
It's worked out
Smart.
very, very well.
Smart.
But I made a mistake on the page, and it since I'm the owner of those on D&D Beyond, it put Draston up in the corner as the player name,
Uh-huh.
and I only caught it on a few of them. So I was passing out character sheets, and I'm like asking what everybody's name is, and the one girl, she's like, "My name's Draston," and I'm like,
I hope you kept it.
"Oh no, that's a mistake on my part. You can name your character whatever." She's like, "No, I really like that. That's what I want to go as." It
Uh-oh.
was so
Oh,
freaking
man.
surreal because
Now you know you have a D&D name.
yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's you.
You know?
That's you.
Funny.
So it was because they're like, "Well, somebody help Draston over there," and I'm like,
Somebody was like, "There's no help for that, dum dum." Sorry.
Cuddles, actually, we did not sell out. He's already dropped an F-bomb and an S-bomb. So we're only 30-some minutes in, and he's already broken the rules.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
apparently
there it
we're going
is.
back
We're
to
screwed today.
OG standards.
So,
Yeah.
No, that's cool, man. Like I said, I love hearing that stuff, and I know you guys are doing good down there, and it's going to be a busy day. Sunday was like, so I remember like each year, it surprised me how busy Sunday gets. Like, it gets chaotic, and you're just like, man, I thought everyone would have came out yesterday, but everyone's always kind of looking for something to do on a Sunday. Saturdays,
Yeah.
might have been an outdoors day or whatever, but like Sunday, everyone's like, oh, let's go to the mall and see what's going on, and it'll get packed in here, and he's going to be busy. So, no, we appreciate you hanging out, dude, and we're going to come down. I'm going to try to come down and get a TikTok of you guys doing
that'd be
your thing.
great.
So,
Yeah,
Sweet.
we'd love that.
I'm trying to
So-
expand and become more social media aware and savvy.
Yeah, TikTok's been a big drive for us. So if you guys get a chance and have not, and you're out there, follow us on that TikTok there.
You
Dude
guys are
has
gonna
been.
force me to do a TikTok,
Dude.
aren't you?
You force. You should just want to.
I have some personal hangups I gotta take
Yeah,
care of.
yeah, we
There's
gotta
one of
take
my
care of those.
people. I see them walking with coffee.
Yeah.
So Starbucks has got
Starbucks
coffee.
is open. Yeah, we're going to break.
Yeah.
We're
All
going
right,
to break.
all right.
But hey, man, no, we appreciate you. Have a
Yeah.
good day today, and and we'll looking forward to hearing the
And nice
stories
shirt.
today. Yeah, man, whatever. All right, you guys, we're gonna take a quick break. I gotta go get a coffee, and then we'll be back here shortly. I think you said
I'm gonna get Jeff on.
Jeff
Yep.
from On Target Parodies. Make sure you check out his discount.
Mm-hmm.
It's available now, 15% off. You head over to his site, use B&B as your code, and get 15% off your order. We'll be back in just a few. And we're back, and we are joined by our good friend Jeff from On Target Parodies.
Hey guys.
Jeff, we're back at the Midland Mall Comic Con.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up with everything. It gets a little chaotic here.
It is I tell you what, it's good for this venue. It is really good. Yeah, yeah. Paul does a great job.
So how you been, man?
Doing really, really good. Been, keeping the creative juices flowing.
You have to.
Yeah. Like matter of fact, I'm wearing today a custom one. Actually Paul reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, can you do a Mandalorian James, Jack Daniels?" I'm like, "I can do that."
Dude, that's
That's actually pretty sweet.
That one is actually really dope. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
But what have you been up to, man? What's new?
Like I say, just keeping busy, trying to get the business out there. It's tough in the online communities.
It is.
Everybody's like, "Oh, we don't want you to promote your business here." Well, I've got the people right there. They love this stuff.
Right.
Beer and Star Wars, that's like, they go hand in hand for me. So, it's like, but yeah, so that's been a little tough. But the reaction at the conventions, everybody smiles. They're like, "Oh, that's so good. That's genius." I'm like, "Thanks." It's good.
No, that's good to get that kind of reaction. Like I said, and it's I'm sure it's tough too, because I'm sure there's other people doing shirts and stuff. But I mean, you have such a unique take on things that helps set you apart from kind of like other. And not to say like it's all about setting yourself. I mean, it kind of is, but at the same time, you've got your own idea, you've got your own vision, and it stands out a little bit different than everyone else's stuff.
Yeah. No, like I say, it's a labor of love. Like I say, it's two things that I'm passionate about: beer and Star Wars.
I feel you.
I mean,
This guy doesn't know anything about that.
He has no clue.
Yeah, well, a little probably too much. Yeah, a little too much even last night. But either way, yeah. I mean, one of the things that I've always really appreciated with the T-shirts that you do is I know you originally felt like more Star Wars and beer or whatever, but you've also kind of expanded a little bit more into some other nerddoms as well too, which is really cool. But at the same time, like you'll show me some things and like, "Hey, what do you think of this or whatever?" And instantly I'm like, "That's brilliant. Like, how did you think of that?" Like, I mean, like the creative part of it, like where you're coming up with some of this stuff is wild, because to me, not only is it a really neat idea, but it also always really looks cool. And I might say, "Hey, maybe change this little thing," or maybe, little stuff like that. But like, man, some of the stuff, I'm telling you, like that I talked about it, I think yesterday as well too, that Venom Black IPA thing. It's one of the coolest shirts that you have, period. And like, it's amazing. Like, how? Let me try to get that and say all that to say or ask, where do you get that like inspiration? Like, what is it that clicks for you?
All right, so it's trying to, and that's a good question. It's finding the right mix,
Right?
Because people come up, "Oh, you should do this." I'm like, "Yeah, I can't really kind of gotta find that right marriage." And like in Venom, I'm like instantly I'm googling, okay, what beers are out there that are called Venom or have Venom in there. And there was actually a brewing company, Venom Brewing Company. And I was like, all right, I can work with this. And I'm like, because I was getting ready to do the Comic-Con this past fall, or summer, excuse me. And so I really wanted to focus on some comic-related characters.
Right.
I wanted to do a Wolverine one. So I did the Schlitz beer, Snicked.
Yep.
It was like a perfect marriage.
Perfect.
Batman when I did the Dark Knight one. And then obviously the Venom, like I really went, because Venom is, number one, he's hot right now.
Yep.
And two, I just love the character. I've loved it from the beginning.
Same.
So
Big fan.
like I wanted to find a good marriage, and that one was good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I appreciate about you. Is like, I know I kind of bug you a lot. I'll send you ideas.
Nope, not bugging.
But I love the feedback I get from people, because that allows me to go real time. Okay, tweak things before.
Yeah.
It's like I was working on a Bud Light slime for Bud Light Lime. The Slimer one.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
there you go.
I got the ideas good, and I know I shared it with you.
Yeah.
But I wasn't happy with it. I was like, there's just something I couldn't get perfect on it.
Yep.
Like, I'm not going to release it because I'm not happy with it.
Right.
So unless I get, the feedback from somebody saying that's a home run, do it right away.
Yeah.
Then, like I said, I've got all these designs that I'm working on, tweaking on, but it's, again, finding that right marriage and making it good that I know that I'm happy with.
Yeah.
And it's got to be so cool when you're going through that process and you're trying to figure out, you're trying to match them up. But then when you do come across two that just are a match, you got to just be like, oh my God, that's gold.
It is.
And it's crazy because you don't come to that conclusion at first. You're just like, how did I miss that one?
Right.
You know?
And then that's it. And then it just, those creative juices start going. You're like, man, you're finding like, I find that I do more work on those
Yep.
because again, it's like I'm tweaking things constantly. I'm like,
Yes.
go back and redo. So
And I like how like when you do mix them together, like it's not just like slap this character stuff on here and just make the name. Like the way the nuance changes you make to the logos and stuff like that to really make it like blend. That's where I think it stands apart from like if I tried doing something like that, I'd be like just Batman logo on something else and be like, that's it. I'd be like, cool, that's fun. But the way that you kind of like you really blend it in, that's what makes them stand out.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
and see that's just it. You could find if you go online, you could find other types of similar things, but it's just what you said. It's Batman logo slapped on something. It's like there's a Superman beer. It's a super. It's like
There's no
neat,
thought process
whatever.
in
It's cool. But when I first started this, and I was like, what caught my eye was, I had seen something that I don't remember what it was, some mashup, and I was like with this creative thing. It was like a Wampa beer thing. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. Wampa Pub is what it was or something.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Star Wars and beer. That's where the idea came from. But I'm like, I started seeing them like they're just exactly what you said. These type of things. I'm like, oh, they're cool, but I know I could do something different.
Sure.
And so,
Yeah.
That's a cool way to get inspired because you look at that and you're like, okay, I like what they're trying to do there. It's a good idea, and then your brain gets going. And you're just like, oh, but I could do this with it, and you just take it to a whole new level. It makes it stand out. And again, that's what I think people really appreciate when they go by and see your stuff. It is well thought out, very unique stuff, and the way that you just blend it together.
And
that's why I think it's awesome, man.
And I appreciate, like I say, working with you guys. I'm personal friends with Tone, and it's been great. Like that's why I wanted to do the promotion with you guys. I want to run because the group that follows Banter and Babble, they're such a great group of people,
Right.
and
Appreciate that.
I want to make sure that they get some kind of benefit from this. So that's why I want to run that ongoing 15% through you guys.
It's awesome.
Code
there, guys.
B&B. All you need to do when you check out, put
Yep.
B&B, you get 15% off. Run that through you guys all the time, and then I know we can't do anything for today because of the way the setup is today, but the next time you guys have a regular show, I want to give out a couple can koozies to you viewers.
My
So
man, and those koozies are just as cool as the shirts, man.
there's everybody those koozies too. You can even laying around, you know. So yeah.
They're awesome. They're awesome. And so we won't be live this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday we'll be back with another proper show, and we'll check out the koozies and whatnot. But no, man, we appreciate you letting us run
Always.
that. And I know our community is, like you said, they're passionate about Star Wars, they're passionate about drinking, and that whenever you can find two groups like that, you can do pretty well for yourself. And that's why we dig what you do, man. Because like I said, and we've talked to several vendors this weekend, man. Like it's one thing to come here and just push stuff, and nobody really does that here. But like when you can feel the passion behind the work, and you can see that passion on the table as you put it out there. I mean, it's hard not to support that. You know what I'm saying? It's hard not to want to support those types of folks that put their heart into
That's
stuff.
just it. We are all nerds. Let's be honest. That's what we are, right?
It is what it is.
So we have a passion. We know what we're looking for when we're going to shows. Talk to us, and again, and you guys, like I said, this community you guys have. You have a great group of people. We're all nerds, we all gaming, beer. It's just that's who we are, and so you guys are great to that market, and so yeah, it's great to be a part of it. I appreciate you guys.
We appreciate that a lot.
We do. We appreciate the sponsorship. Again, I'm a super fan as of everything that you do, anyways, as it is too, and it's really hard not to just put everything in the cart and buy it, but then I wouldn't have beer money.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you.
But no,
if
we
you're
appreciate
watching,
you.
if you're watching this video on VOD, obviously live, it's in the chat, but in the VOD, if you go in the description, we'll make sure we have the link over to On Target Parodies. We'll have the discount code. Go over there and check out our stuff. I'm telling you right now, it's you go down a rabbit hole of just great stuff, and you'll want to pick up multiple items. Make sure you use that code so you can get 15% off.
Yeah.
Jeff, man, we always appreciate you hanging out and
Thanks,
talking.
Always a pleasure.
Hope you have a
Thanks,
great
pleasure.
rest of con. I know last year we know it got busy on Sunday too, so the surge will happen at some point,
think
usually
so.
somewhere just before the contest. So we'll let you get back there and get prepared for it, buddy.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right. Hey, we're gonna be back in just a few moments. We're gonna get Kenneth Lanier on here, a friend, an artist, and we'll talk about the Comic-Con with him. We'll be right back. And we're back. And the coffee's starting to hit. Like, I'm starting to feel pretty good. I'm not sweating yet, but I'm starting to feel the toes moving and, starting to feel good. But we are back, and we are joined by our good friend, Kenneth Lanier. He is back. Artist and sweetheart,
Sometimes.
Kenneth Lanier.
Don't give away my secrets.
I can't help it. Everyone already knows, bro.
I have a reputation to uphold.
I have a reputation to live down to. That's what I always tell people. I'm telling them I'm a sweetheart.
Yeah, that's right.
But, Ken, we're back. It's the Midland Mall Comic-Con 2024. How many is this for you now?
This is my third one.
This is your third
year.
one? How's it going so far?
It's a blast. Great time. I had more fun yesterday than ever. It was busy wall to wall.
Awesome.
Made some money, which is good, but it's so much more about having a blast here.
Yeah.
Had my daughter with me. She had a great time.
Ooh, is this her first one being here?
It's her first time sitting with me all day. She's been and visited. She's been to the con, but this is her first time sitting with me at the table and helping me out and doing drawings herself.
How's she liking it?
So she had a blast. She had a great time. It was really good.
That's
She
awesome.
hasn't been to one. We did my first convention she did, and she sat with me like when she was like 5, and it was adorable. And so just kind of revisiting that. Now she's a teenager, and she's way too cool for dad. But so we had a nice bonding day and stuff. We sold some things, and we did some drawings. It was a really good day.
That's awesome.
No, that's great, man. No, it's great. It's great to have you back. Obviously, we know it's a chaotic 2 days.
It is, but it's the most fun chaos ever.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right?
You've been meeting a lot of people stopping by and hanging out and asking questions and buying stuff. That's
Yeah.
good.
That's
What's been a lot of requested stuff so far?
The most stuff I'm getting requests for is Deadpool. Right now, I stopped to come here, and I'm working on a Deadpool commission over there. New movie's coming out, so that always whatever's new movie is coming out. When there's a convention, it's like, oh, there's a Superman movie. I'm gonna get a lot of Superman requests. So right now, Deadpool
That's awesome.
and Hulk. But I always get a lot of Hulks because there's a lot of Hulk at my table.
Oh,
So when people
okay.
see the Hulks that I do, they're like, oh man, I'd like a request a Hulk. So
I like that.
that's just kind of my wheelhouse.
Yeah, surprisingly, that's your wheelhouse, right? Yeah,
If you've met me, you know for 5 minutes, man, I'm all about the Hulk.
that's right. That's right. We're Hulk fans in this home too, so big fan. But so tell us a little bit about what exactly maybe differentiate this year from the maybe the last couple, if there is any difference. Now, are you down this way?
No, I'm the other way.
You are the other way. Okay. So is there any difference that you can feel? I mean, how about the traffic? Like, does it seem about the same as last year, more or less? We've been trying to get a good gauge, and we seem like we can't place it.
I feel, at least for day one, that it was more traffic right from the jump. The minute I walked in, it seemed busier. And I'm seeing, at least from the conversations, more people that have never been to a show.
Okay.
Oh, really?
I talked to a ton of people yesterday who've never been to any Comic-Con ever, which is kind of what I was thinking, like, is so great about this, that people that didn't know what a convention was or haven't been here before get this exposure to it without having to go to a big city, Motor City or even Cherry Capital or something. They get this experience that's like a real show with the cosplay and the vendors and the popcorn and the food and everything.
Yeah.
They get a sample of what that world is like that a lot of us are used to.
Yep.
And then so like little kids are just like at my table like, oh, let me get a sticker, and just seeing that light in their eyes.
Yes.
And I remember when I was younger having that same light before I'd been to a show, and then going like, oh, this is my world,
Yeah.
So it's like busier in my opinion, a lot busier. My table was a lot busier. I had a better first day this year than I did last year.
Really?
Money wise.
Okay.
And then talking to people, just seeing that there's more outreach in the general community, not just playing to our audience. We're not just playing to our base here.
Right.
Like we're bringing people into this world. I love it. I love it.
See, that's what
great.
you like to hear, man. And
That's my vibe.
Now, you mentioned popcorn. Are you next to that popcorn party down there?
I'm not next to it, but I'm not far from it.
Man, I don't know how you can get anything done. I'd be over there buying bags and just eating popcorn all day. I love popcorn.
My mom and dad stopped by yesterday they always stop by to visit me.
Yeah.
But then they always hit the thing, and my dad likes food, so he brought me some popcorn. They were all about the popcorn. But
You're talking about the foot traffic and a lot of people, and like Tony and I we were watching yesterday, and like the one video or the one spot that I always look at is always this camera, and like normally I remember last year it was like wall to wall, but they also reduced the amount of space I believe in each of the booths, so I think there's more there's more room for people to watch, so it doesn't look as congested as it did last year. But at the same time, I know we're watching the cosplay contest. I'm just like, there's more people here than last year.
Yeah.
It's just so weird how the aisles look like they're a little bit like more spread out. But I think it's because they actually squeeze down the booths a little bit. So due to fire code,
I feel that, that too. I mean, I feel behind the table is a little more a little more cramped, but that's okay because it's nicer out there.
Yeah,
for
absolutely. It allows people to kind of move around a little more freely, and it's not jam-packed.
Another thing about, speaking of cosplay, I talked to some friends of mine that came in cosplay that there are a lot of people that didn't compete that were so good they could have competed. I'm seeing a lot of people, these guys here, cosplaying for fun.
Yeah.
And not even just because of the competition.
Yeah,
it just brings people in and having fun with that.
Same thing. I've run into people and I'm like, you signed up for the cosplay contest? No.
And they're like, no.
I was like, oh, really? I'm like, man, if I were you, I'd definitely be doing that.
Tons of amazing cosplayers that I thought for sure they were here for the contest.
Yeah.
And no, they were just hanging out.
Yeah.
Just enjoying the vibe.
Yeah, Cherry was here. We had a couple other people. Yeah, there were people walking around. And I'm just like, oh man, they're gonna place for sure with that. And then you don't even see them. You're like, what are you doing?
You don't even have a tag. What's up? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so
right,
I'm hoping more people come
Yeah.
out here and get signed up. Now remember, if you are in the area and you do want to participate, get here early and get signed up. I think it's only, what are they doing, 100?
It's 100 total, so it's like limited to about 20 spots, I think, per category.
So if you want to be a part of it and you want to get into it and you've got a dope ass looking like costume, get in here and sign up for it, and you could win. Like I said, there were several yesterday that were walking around. I was just like, how are you not in this? But I mean, it's cool though. At the same time, like you said, just brings people out and they want to be a part of the experience and they're showing off their stuff. And I mean, that's the beauty of it. If you don't want to get on stage, that's fine too. But if you got a really good costume, put it out there.
Absolutely, hands down, absolutely. And even if you're not though, like if you're maybe anxious to do it, there are people here that you can lean into. We talked to AMH yesterday, and she's been a longtime cosplayer. Maybe talk to like one of these cosplayers and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, and can I get some advice? Like, how do you get through that anxiety? Is it just going and doing it? There are, if maybe you're just not the type of person to do that, there are people here that maybe you can lean into to help kind of direct you into that, because you never know. It might be something that, outside of your cosplaying for fun, all of a sudden you could enjoy that. And next thing you know, you could be here as a judge, in 10 years. So, honestly, do that and have some fun. But you could ask me.
It's an interesting thing that translates to most creative endeavors. I was talking to my daughter. My daughter was here with me yesterday, I mentioned, and she does theater and dance, competitive dance.
Oh, wow.
And it's different from what I do, but it's similar in the sense that you have this, like, you have a little bit of confidence that you want to do something and show the world, but you also have this crippling self-doubt.
Yes.
That like my friend, the cosplayer, yesterday, she had this amazing Princess Peach costume, and I'm like, that looks like such quality, and she makes that stuff.
I remember seeing that.
If you saw her, that she's a friend of mine, she's amazing. I mean, amazing. She does some really authentic stuff, and you're confident enough to show, but you're not quite confident enough to go all the way out there. Like
tough.
I'm confident in my art to the point that I want to set up, but I'm also, I still have this like introverted self-doubt, and I'm not that cocky about it. So there's this balancing act where and then you come to a place like this and everybody's so open and welcoming.
Yeah.
I hear cosplayers that some are, look great. Some of them look, some of them aren't as expensive and don't have the resources to make a great show costume, but they want to have fun anyway. I have some furry friends. Yeah. They just love their costume and they come out and they just enjoy it.
And you got to start somewhere. I mean, you're not going to come out and hit a home run often on your first attempt unless it's something that you're just a natural like cosplayer, like you just automatically jump into it. But you start small. You go out there and you try something. You get on stage, you run off because you're terrified, whatever. But that first time you do it, both on stage and with creating a costume, you start somewhere and then you just continue to evolve and grow. And every time you go on that stage, the next time is easier and easier and easier.
Yeah, and if you like it, you build it and you work on it. And again, places like this give you that acceptance.
Right.
Where you feel like, okay, I'm a weirdo. Oh, wow, I'm not the only weirdo around.
We're all the weirdos here.
The weirdo is our business, man. This is our bread and butter. That's my secret, Cap.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. And, that's, again, been the theme of some of the folks we've talked to, and especially pillars like you that have been, with us here for, the last few years, is that it's a family, it's a community, and all we all want to do is see everybody succeed and uplift each other. And if you can't subscribe to that stuff, then hey, maybe this place isn't for you, and that's fine. But if that's what you need and what you want, this is a great place for that.
Oh, absolutely, man. Like, everybody here is a booster. Every single year I've been, I've met strangers and different people next to me, my neighbors and stuff, people I just met now doing the crochet things next to me. Like, and every time I'm here, I haven't talked to a single person once in 3 years who hasn't been a booster of other people. Everybody wants everybody to succeed. Yeah, and I love that. And I'm the same way. Like, I want my neighbors to have a good day. I want everybody to make some money. I want everybody to have some fun. guy with the chainsaw head.
Chainsaw head.
Have a good day.
Chainsaw
I love
man.
chainsaw head. That's dope.
But I want to ask you, Ken. I mean, obviously you have creative ideas, and you're an artist. We talked about this yesterday. What we would do as cosplay, I would try to do Walter Sobchak from The Big Lebowski. Tone has always been curious about maybe doing Kingpin. Mm-hmm. If you had to come up with some cosplay to embody a character that you've always really loved, that you know you could pull off, get up on stage and rock, who would you want to be?
Okay, so I've actually done Hulk cosplay a lot.
Really?
Because I have this deluxe Hulk costume at home that I got when I worked for Spirit Halloween for some years, and we did a annual Halloween party at Mott's Hospital for the children.
Oh, really?
So I would go every year dressed as the Hulk with face paint and the muscles and the big Hulk hands from 2013.
Yeah,
the old ones that smashed.
Yeah,
I still haven't changed the batteries in those things. They still like. They sound like they're dying. So I don't pull off a great Hulk because I'm like 4 feet tall, but in the hospital though, I mean I'm
you're
bigger than
the kids. Yeah.
So I just walk around but I'm like not a scary Hulk. So I'm like a friendly dancing Hulk. If you look up somewhere, there are TikTok videos and they posted on the Mott's website a couple years back, videos of me like the Hulk dancing. So I don't know what character I could reasonably pull off that I would be comic accurate.
Sure.
But I would always do the Hulk. I would like to do like a midget Joe Fixit gray Hulk.
I was gonna say, when you were saying the nice guy and all that stuff, I'm like, man, you could probably pull off like a Joe Fixit, maybe.
I would rock that if I could.
Yeah,
I would go so far as to get my hair cut buzzed around the sides and a fedora.
There you go. Or maybe you could even just be Banner.
I mean, I could pull Banner off.
You could definitely
pull brown
pull
hair
Banner
and
off.
glasses, but
I mean, I'm just saying, some of us like Banner just as much as the Hulk.
I did one year where I did painted half my face and I went like as Banner with my shirt ripped and stuff.
Oh,
so mid transformation.
That's pretty gnarly
I'm small
too.
And puny, but I would like a little bit of green paint and made it look like I was starting.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's always fun.
That's clever. I like that one, man. Have the mixture. Yeah,
there
dude.
I mean, I can't pull off muscles without the padding. So
I mean, same here, man. I can't do a six pack without every belts on and what's that Spanx or whatever it is. I don't even know. But no, dude, that, like I said, it's always good to see out here, and it's always good to see the returning vendors, people that keep coming back every year, because it is a great experience and it is fun meeting people, and they can do very well. We've heard from several people that vendors do really good here, better than they do at some of the bigger cons around the area, around the state. And it's just great to hear that we've kind of cultivated, we've created this event that brings a lot of people from around the area together, not only to do cosplay, but then you got the quality stuff that the vendors are pushing out there.
You do, and it's kind of unique to us. You know what I mean, it's not quite like the bigger shows, although we have a lot of things that they have.
Mm-hmm.
It is because it's open like this, and it's open to the community, and it's just free to come and see your kids and bring your kids and play. I love seeing the little kids dressed as the Disney princesses or Spider-Mans or whatever. Because they can just come out like that.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
Have you had a chance to go to the Ghostbusters Training Academy?
I legit haven't. I walked by it twice.
Dude.
I only got up once yesterday from my table. It was so busy.
Hard to do.
So hopefully today I've got my neighbors, my cool neighbors watching the table for me. I can maybe walk around a little bit.
Dude, if you get a chance, just go through that thing. Yeah. They did a hell of a job this year. They do every year. The Dino Dig last year. I mean, they just make cool little activities for everybody to do. So if you get a chance, check that out. But Ken, we know it's busy. We know you got a lot going on. We love it that you come out and hang out with us and talk to us, man. And we really appreciate you every time.
You're the man. We appreciate you, brother.
You too. I always like talking to you guys. You guys are a lot of fun. I love your show.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Where can we find you down here?
We are right down. Hard to direct here.
By Hallmark?
Strangely enough, I run in my day job. I run the Go calendars and toy set. I'm nearly right in front of that over there.
Oh, okay, right over there.
Go calendars.
There you go.
Which is ironic. So they're in the background of all my selfies.
Where are you going to be? Are you going to be at any other cons coming up? Any other events coming up?
I don't have any shows scheduled right now.
Okay.
I'm super busy with the toy stores.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, but no, I was just gonna say, where can they find you? Like, you've got a Facebook page, like. If you got any social media spots, where can they find you?
So I got my Facebook page. It's my full name, Kenneth Lenar.
Yep.
Facebook. Zuckerberg made me verify my ID, so now I can't go by my nicknames. I have a freelance page at freelanced.com.
Okay.
And then on social, it's just at Ken Lenar, KenLeinaar.
There it is.
Perfect. And you guys, if you follow Banter and Babble and you want to connect as well too, reach out to me as well too, and I can get you the information for sure.
So hey, thanks. Yeah, like I got a day job, but I'm always working. I'm always freelancing. I'm always taking commissions.
Yeah.
Just fit them into my schedule.
they're
Because
great,
I'm also
you
working
guys.
on books. Like I have books in the works now.
Oh,
now
really?
to
Nice.
come out this year. So.
See,
Oh,
that's
this
even
year?
more.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, my
Yeah.
man.
Well,
The-
you know we're eating promo.
the
No
man,
doubt, no doubt.
the man never sleeps. He's just nonstop.
I am a night owl. I am a night owl.
Never
I get my
ending.
best work done at night because the world leaves you alone.
Yes,
you know?
it's
That's right.
quiet.
There's no
with your
phone
thoughts,
calls.
Your visions become clear. That's awesome. And no, we appreciate you hanging out. We hope you have a great rest of the con.
Absolutely.
We're gonna step away for just a moment, and we'll be back with another a guest here. Or I don't know what do we got coming up.
Bathroom break.
We're not.
No,
he
we're
doesn't
not.
have a camera in there, so
I
don't
don't-
worry about
or
it. But,
catheter.
we'll be
Turn the
back
mic
in
off.
just.
Turn the mic off. We don't want to hear that.
It's getting nasty. We'll be back in a few, guys. And welcome back. Tone, it's starting to fill up in here, man.
It is picking up. I am looking at a bunch of furries, which is one of my favorite things here at the Comic-Con.
Dude, this canine furry right here.
This is Hollow.
Is this Hollow?
This is Hollow. This is our friend Hollow here.
Dude,
looks amazing.
They got the belt.
Yeah,
with
so good.
I mean, it looks like cuffs. Yeah. It's got a taser. It's got the Kevlar. It's got the bulletproof. I mean, this is dude, I don't know what it is. I mean, I think all these furries out here right now look really, really good. Okay, like they're really good. But this dark color palette that we've seen on a couple, it really, I think it looks so sharp. Yeah, really man, pops. Like it looks really good. This canine one is ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, Hollow. If you get a chance, you're on Facebook. I mean, you may even see me share some posts. Hollow's a pal here with us at the Midland Mall Comic-Con. Just amazing work. So amazing on what they've done with their.
And what is this here. One next to it? Is that like is that a hawk or is that
it might be.
Dude, like the mouth was moving.
Yeah,
I mean, when they were talking.
Well, that's the crazy part about the work that the furry folk will do is that they will incorporate moving pieces as well. And it's just, this is just incredible.
These two right here standing in front of us. These can't show it to you guys and girls right now, but when they will be up on stage for the cosplay contest. These ones are. I just can't see how these aren't going to be in the final discussion for cosplay of the day or the best in show or whatever. But I mean, the cosplayers are starting to file in. The cosplay contest is just over 2 hours, just a little over 2 hours away.
Yeah.
And this is when people start rushing in to sign up because it's only 20 contestants per category. So you're gonna want to get here quick. If you aren't here already, you're gonna probably need a little bit of an act of God to get signed up. But don't hesitate any longer. If you're sitting at home watching, going, should I do it? Yes, you should. Get down here and get signed up. But, dude, some of these furries are starting to look pretty sharp, dude.
Yeah, just it's mesmerizing. You can see my eyes, guys, right now. Like,
he's got gorp face on the fur.
I really do. Like, it's incredible. You know, we had Squeakers here last year, in the last couple of years, talking about the craftsmanship that these folks do, and you know, she's right. Like, they are sometimes next level in what they do, and. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of the work, so it was exciting. I was hoping to see Hollow. Didn't see Hollow yesterday, but I'm glad to see Hollow here today. So,
are you just waiting for this person to back up into the rope and not
waiting for everybody to do that?
Seriously, like I can't wait for that to happen. But no, as you can see behind us in the camp, people are starting to get signed up. But Tone, we got a couple more people that we're going to have on here shortly. But we just want to kind of BS a little bit, man. We were just looking at some stuff on social media. Dune 2 came out this weekend. Dune Part 2. I want to get it right. It pulled in $81 million compared to the $41 million on the first one pulled on its opening weekend.
That's a pretty solid start. And Sunday's not done yet.
Sunday is not done yet, so we'll probably get those final numbers tomorrow. But we actually went and saw it on Thursday night.
We did.
We made it to the theater. It's the first time we've been to a movie in a minute.
It was. It feels like
you kind of needed a little respite from everything going on at the house.
We needed the break
because I called you before because I was like, man, I got some stuff I got to work on for some scenes. You know, is this really the best movie to go see before Comic-Con?
Right,
2 hours and 46 minutes, and you were just like, no, we're going to see it.
Yeah,
I'm like, what? And you're like, I need to get out of the house. I need to go see Dune Part 2. I said, all right, man, we're going to go. I'm glad we did.
Yeah.
Once again, Denis Villeneuve, the director of the Dune movies and also Blade Runner 2049 and The Arrival, just a visionary director.
Man.
And when you go to one of his movies at the theater, I mean, the interesting thing about Denis Villeneuve as a director is his movies are well thought out, well written stories. Like, they are thought-provoking, engaging stories. But he just has this way of blending it in with I don't even want to say it's we talk about CGI, we talk about special effects in a lot of movies, and sometimes it is absolute overkill where you can't discern what's going on.
Right.
And it's just it's more of just an assault on the senses in a negative way. Where Denis Villeneuve, he is all about scale and spectacle, but in a way that you can see and understand what's happening, and it's just a compliment to the story that's always going to have the depth.
Absolutely. I always tell this story when I went and saw Blade Runner 2049, and it was probably, I don't think it was the last, but I saw it in 3D.
Well, you saw that in 3D.
And the interesting part about saying that, because to me, 3D is hit or miss. Some movies do parlor tricks. Some movies kind of make you feel like you're more into it.
Yes.
What Dennis did with Blade Runner 2049 in 3D, he didn't just kind of pull you in. You were there.
Yeah.
It was environmental.
Yeah.
Because like when you're in a like cyberpunkish kind of setting like that, like you almost want to be drawn into it, and that's how you were.
Yeah.
And like Dune 2, I was thinking about this, like the way he does certain either action scenes or how he pulls you in, as you say. I almost wonder what Dune 2 would have been like in 3D as well.
Woo,
because, like, listen, and again, and this is somebody who's not really sold on 3D. It's got to be done right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because sometimes they just do like, oh, look, there's embers from a fire and they're 3D. That's not drawing me in.
No.
But when you can draw me in with a good soundtrack,
yes,
with good, like, dialogue, and an environment,
yeah,
like it's a next level experience. And that's how Blade 2049 was for me in 3D. So, Dune 2 is nothing less of anything that he's done, which is some amazing spectacle. Like, the first one was amazing.
Right.
It was awesome. The second one, for me, was even a higher echelon. Like, I feel like I looked at you and I looked at Britt a couple of times, you know, and we need those stanchions back there again.
Yeah.
I have to find those. We looked at each other a couple times, and it was just like, in awe.
Right. Yeah, it really is. It's a type of movie where, again, it's not like in your face and just like, again, hard to keep up with. Like you're just like gorp faced through some of the shots that he gets on screen. And you mentioned like 3D. Like I always liked it when 3D first became a thing. It was always about popping out at you, and you're just like, oh, cool. But I always like the ones that kind of create like this entrance into that world, the depth where it's like, it's not about bringing things out to you. It's about, like you said, pulling you in, and you can like look in, peer into this world, and you're immersed in it that way. And that's like, I can only imagine what Dune Part 2 would have been like in 3D. But like, you go back to it, and it's just, man, it was such an immersive experience, you know. And I mentioned this on social media. Like, I don't know how this movie. I mean, we've got a whole year of movies coming up, and there's a lot of great movies coming out this year. But I just can't imagine this movie not walking away with hardware for, like, best sound editing.
Yeah.
I mean, there were several scenes where things were happening, and I was just like, that just sounds incredible. I mean, it's loud, but it's just the nuance, the way it sounded, you're just like, that just sounds incredible.
Yeah, and that, to explain it how it was at Blade 2049, is just, it pulled you in.
But I mean, going away from the special effects and the sound and everything, I mean, the story in this one I thought was great. I thought it really continued Paul's, you know, his journey where he's headed.
Yep.
You know, now you're kind of concerned about the outcome of and I am not familiar with the book, so I'm like riding along with this for the first time.
Me too, as well.
And being into it, and like, I love the character development. I love the performances from everybody in it. Doing when I don't want to spoil anything, but when a certain actor shows up, I mean, I knew they were still I knew that they didn't get pieced out in the first one. I was like, there's no way, because we didn't see a body. You don't see a body. But like, when a certain character comes back, and like the way that they bring their character into the scene, and you just hear him start talking, I was just like, there's that the sultry baritone of this actor that I'm a huge fan of this actor. And like, when they brought that character back, I was like, all right, cool, man, I'm into it. But like, everybody's great in it. Javier Bardem is great, and Timothée Chalamet is great. Zendaya is great. Rebecca Ferguson is great. I mean, everybody is just into their character and committed to it. And again, like, the thing that I always heard a few people talk about with Dune Part 1, it was just kind of a slower burn for a sci-fi. You know, it's supposed to be this huge sci-fi epic, and so you're expecting a bombastic action and things of that nature. And you had action, but Dune is really a story-driven experience.
Very story-driven.
And the action and the special effects and all the excitement, that's just there to kind of complement and move things forward a little bit. But man, the visionary style and the storytelling that Denis Villeneuve brings to the table, and the performances he gets from his actors, this is an all around just phenomenal sci-fi film.
Absolutely.
Like, it was really engaging, and like we've talked about it several times in the past. When you go see a movie that's 2 hours and 46 minutes, the minute you start doing this, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah.
But the whole time we're watching, man, we were just locked in. Tone was wondering where the hell the bucket was that he desperately wanted.
Yeah,
and I mean, if you're gonna knock this movie for any points, it's for making the bucket exclusive to AMC. I mean, that thing was cool. Like, they had some like buckets at Imagine at that theater, and we were just like, I mean, they were like you know, like,
they look like the large hologram
rate.
like cups you get like at a McDonald's in '98.
I was not excited to buy that bucket. I was like, I'm not buying that thing, man.
Absolutely not.
But overall, man, I just thought it was a great experience. I already downloaded the soundtrack because Hans Zimmer is just.
I mean,
he's right up there with John Williams, in my opinion. I think Hans Zimmer has some of the best soundtracks of like the last 30 years. And I picked that up, and I cannot wait for this movie to come to digital. And I can't actually wait to just sit down and watch them back to back. Make an experience 4 or 5 hours of just, oh my God.
Exactly. And that's what I said, I think, when we were talking briefly about it earlier. I'm like, I haven't stopped thinking about it. Like, I really want to see it again that bad.
Yes.
And that's how you know, like, I said it the other day to a friend. I said, when the dust settles on this and the third one comes out, and unless they crap on it or something like that, which I highly doubt.
There's no way.
You know, like, years from now, we're going to look back and we're going to say that this trilogy is in that echelon of other epic trilogies.
I was about to ask you that. I was actually about to make that a topic.
I mean, Lord of the Rings has been around for a long time now. Dune's been around for a long time as a huge cult following because of the books as well too. And even growing up, I'm still a fan of the original as well too. It's crazy to go back. I found a reel of like comparing the actors then and now kind of thing.
I saw that.
That was actually pretty neat. But they told that story in one movie, right? So,
and you can already tell how much you probably missed when you've seen 5 hours and 2 movies.
Absolutely.
Here.
But so with this, like, it's building a legitimate epic tale. In a cinematic outlet. And yeah, like, I got a feeling like down the road it's gonna be one of those things where you're gonna like, okay, well, I got the Lord of the Rings extended versions this weekend, and the following weekend I'm gonna do all Dune.
All the Dune movies.
I mean? And I think that this is gonna be in that conversation of like epic trilogies.
Now, is Dune just one book, or have they built on that lore? Or are there several? Are there any like spin-off books? Kind of like, I'm not saying Star Wars was obviously a bunch of books, but like Star Wars, Lucas had plans upon plans and storyboards and whatnot to build from, so he could expand that universe. Is Dune more of an isolated thing? Like, once you finish the book, do you think there's a way that they could expand on that to kind of build like a Star Wars universe?
Right. So like it depends. I think you got to look at each product separately. Like, Star Wars had a lot of expanded stuff. George says he had some stuff ready for a second trilogy and maybe some cartoons, but he didn't really do a lot of that. Like, a lot of it was supposed to be contained within the movies, right? And the people that made those, that was just people doing that, basically, random folks or whatever. Whereas like Lord of the Rings, for instance, like, has extra content and compendiums and things that Tolkien himself wrote that is canon, and some of it has barely seen the light of day, or it's in like short stories and this, that, and the other. I don't know if Dune has that, because I'm familiar with Dune, but I'm not like injected DNA.
Sure,
Dune.
right.
And after this, who knows? Maybe
I feel like I'm getting there.
I mean, honestly, and maybe there isn't. I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's a fan out there watching. If let us know, like, if there is extra Dune content. I feel like I've seen stuff out there.
Yeah.
But would this prompt the ability to do that? Maybe. I mean, I feel like there's enough like lineage and history that they even talk about in this series that I feel like there's got to be something out there.
Right.
But overall, don't know.
Right.
Like, I mean, but hey, like, maybe somebody can do it. Let's go, right?
It's
like,
just,
I want more.
Like I said, I feel like to make a proper sci-fi movie, you can't just fall into the trap of like, look, we got to have laser battles, we got to have ships, we got to have explosions.
Right.
And I mean, you have to a degree, but man, when you can flesh out its universe and you can flesh out the characters to make them three-dimensional and really memorable characters that are dealing with internal struggles and the relationships or the adversaries that they build over the course of the movie. That's how you pull me in to like want to keep going back and watch it and see what else there is. Absolutely. Or where else they could possibly expand upon, what characters they show up that kind of go in like, man, you could do something spin off there. But like, I don't know, man. Like, this is just I feel like we're at like I feel like we're at that point where like this trilogy will be Denis Villeneuve's magnum opus when it comes to his resume of movies. Yeah. I mean, much like Star Wars defined like George Lucas and how Indiana Jones was a big part of like Steven Spielberg. Yeah. I feel like this is going to be something that, I mean, as good as his other movies are, Arrival is wild. Blade Runner 2049 is an incredible follow-up.
Yeah, absolutely.
But to look at this, I mean, and if, like you said, if he can stick the landing with the third one, I'm telling you, man, this is going to be something we're going to be talking about for many, many years ahead.
Yeah, and I'm at the point already right now, fiending for the third. So, and like, what a guy to have helmet, like, he doesn't make. Does he make? I feel like he's not.
He's one of those directors that's every couple of years, man. He doesn't.
Right.
He does. And which is fine because I think he has a hand in the writing and take your time with it. Don't because again, Dune is not one of those movies where you're like popcorn movie, push it out, and make money.
Even with the content you want, you still want somebody that can helm that can be a true visionary and do the things that he does. And boy, oh boy, does he do them well.
Because there are people out there that think Dune is too slow of a burn. Like they just aren't into it because there's not enough of this and that, and it's just like I don't think that maybe he's going for that particular audience.
Right.
There are people that do love a visionary director and they do love what he's doing, but there are some people who are like, I wish there was a little bit more action because that's all I'm really there for.
Right.
To see on the big screen.
And I'm not that person. Like, I don't get me wrong, I love all that stuff.
Right.
I'm a slow burning character. Kind of need some good tales, some good stories, some good dialogue.
Yep.
I care more about that most often than probably even those kind of big explosions.
Yeah, I feel you. But Tone, that's not the only epic, big time story driven affair that is coming out this weekend.
Right. So yes,
Dune Part 2 on the big screen, but we got some video game, a little video title, a little video game title. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Final Fantasy VII.
Right.
It's one of many just bland Final Fantasy games, I guess. But Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yes.
And I think you're already on your second playthrough of Remake, working your way, or almost, I think you might have finished it.
I really close.
Close.
This week put a damper in that last weekend and this week, so I was actually really close to having that done. But yeah, I didn't get to, but that's fine. Rebirth did come out Thursday. Was Wednesday going into Thursday?
Thursday night.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, of course, I think I'd mentioned it before. I did buy the deluxe.
You did.
Version of it. I'm gonna keep it sealed.
That's double discs.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And I've got I've got the digital version I'm playing, which I've only clocked in 37 minutes. It's all the time
give
I've
us
had.
a review right now.
Well, it's really first of all, it's gorgeous, of course.
Yeah.
But what's really neat what they did with all the extra content leading up is if you had a Final Fantasy VII Remake save, if you had the DLC remake save, doesn't mean you had to beat him, just had a save file on there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you had the demo for Rebirth on there as a save, which would have been the Nibelheim part, you would get in-game content initially when you loaded up Rebirth. You could import them and click and say, yep, I got these saves. Really easy to do. Some of the content you can't use right away, but if you have some of this content, you get 2 summons initially that you'll be able to use, which is Leviathan and Rama. So that's pretty cool, right? But what's really neat is that, Square has always been really good about their demos, and I do appreciate this. They've always really tried to make playing their demos worth your time.
They want to pull you in. They want to get that purchase.
So the Nibelheim demo that you did is actually the first hour or so of the game, maybe even 2. I want to say it's at least an hour. Well, for me, if you're me, it's a little bit longer. So it's probably about 2 hours. Let's say honestly overall. And you can skip 3/4 of that. When you load up the game.
So because it detects you've already done it,
right?
So like, hey, you don't have to do this
because
again.
it takes 5 years in the past, takes place then, so it's not detrimental to anything necessarily.
And just because I asked you this, anything, there's nothing you earn in that. That's going to be beneficial.
Not that I've seen at all. I thought maybe some of the music for the piano playing, but that wasn't there for pickup at that time. So it looks like you're pretty free and clear, which is neat.
Okay, well that's cool, man. And I know that's probably your plan tomorrow.
Yeah, the part of the reason I take off the Monday after con is to decompress, because this is a lot of. I'm extroverted anyways, and I have a lot of. I talk a lot, but it's a good day to just relax.
Yes.
So mostly the reason, was to play Rebirth tomorrow. Give some time.
It's gonna be a good day for me, man. Like I said, you can get up. You can open the windows.
Yeah.
Supposed to be 70 degrees tomorrow.
Yep. Maybe get some breakfast.
Hey, you know what? I'm down for some nori's.
If you're still down for some nori's.
I'm down for some nori's.
Right.
But it's going to be a good day. Like I said, to decompress and just kind of jump into something that you want to play. I almost pulled the trigger. I need to finish Remake. I'm at Chapter 13. So that's my goal, is to try to maybe finish that up. But the next game that I'm really looking forward to is Rise of Ronin. That's on the 22nd, same day as Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm saving my time and money for the next video game. But No, we want to get you guys and girls' thoughts. If you're watching this on demand, if you're watching it on YouTube or wherever, let us know your thoughts so far on Final Fantasy VII. I can't imagine anyone's already finished with it, right?
You know, the big guys in our community, like, you know, my good pal Ant House Beats is.
Oh yeah, he's
is
probably
deep. we know Brian's deep. And you know, there's other members too that I know they're playing or are about to pull the trigger on it. I believe RV might even be playing as well too. But yeah, we've got members in the community that are diving pretty deep on it right now. So
that's
and
awesome.
Makes me a little jealous, I'll be honest.
It'll be all yours tomorrow, man. But we got a couple more interviews coming up. We're gonna step away for just a moment. The cosplayers are really filing in, man. They got up on stage doing photo ops. We got the furries huddled over here. You got the traditional cosplayers over yonder. It's really starting to pick up. The sun's out now. The blue sky is above us. So it's really starting to fill up out here. It's going to be a busy day here at the Midland Mall Comic-Con. If you're in the area, get out here. Come hang out. The Ghostbusters Training Academy is hot. There's still a couple slots left for 7D Dungeons and them doing their one-shots. You still got Lehman's Apple Barn. I got to go over there and go get myself an apple cider slushie because I just drink a bunch of those all weekend.
Nothing wrong with that.
So there's a lot going on. Make sure you get out here. It ends at 5 o'clock today, so you got a couple more hours to bring the kiddos out, have a good time. But, yeah, we'll be back in just a few moments with another interview. I think we're going to try to get Josh from Half-Ass Beer Review on here. We're going to talk to one of the cosplayers.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot more coming your way before the cosplay contest, which is set to begin in just under 2 hours. So it's going to be hot. We'll be back in just a few. That's a good segment.
The stanchions are there. Getting proud of them.
They've been there. I think they were kind of.
I know that's part of their lineup though too. That's tape there. So I don't know if we can push this in. So yeah, maybe how we have it turned so that we don't want to pull out. So what happened is they just
And we're back. We just got done seeing how many hot dogs we could stuff in our mouth for a quick lunch. Tone wins per usual. It's not even close.
It's freakishly amazing how efficient you are.
He is, man. He doesn't even need the water. He needs all the ketchup. He goes extra ketchup, and that kind of breaks it up.
The ketchup thing's gonna stop.
No,
and I'll put a stop to it.
It is just getting started.
No,
that's why he wears cargo shorts.
It is exactly why he's wearing cargo shorts.
I love glizzies. That's the like. Listen, we talk a lot about great fine cuisine on here and things of that nature, but there is nothing more finer at certain times in life with not even just a hot dog. Hot dogs are amazing. I love hot dogs, and I crave them, and it's not because of the shape, but I also, much even better than that, would be the Kogel hot dog. So,
serve the curve.
Vienna curves, babe.
I just started cooking them in the air fryer.
Dude.
That's a game changer.
4 minutes.
I am so glad you said that, man, because, like, all my life on the grill, and Kogels are great. Dude, you put Kogel Viennas in an air fryer for 4 or 5 minutes, you will get the best version of a Kogel Vienna.
Yep.
I mean, it won't crack, and it gets crunchy evenly all around.
Absolutely.
It is the best version of a Kogel Vienna.
4 minutes.
I mean, even on the sunniest of days, if it's nice outside and the kids are like, hot dogs, my wife will be like, go fire up the grill. I'm like, nope, I'm going to fire up the air fryer. I am not messing around with the grill. I rarely use a grill for anything. Do another thing, but if you like brats, put those in the smoker.
Ooh, okay.
All right. Brats for smokers, hot dogs for air fryers. It is, you don't even need a grill anymore.
Yeah.
But, hey, we are joined. Josh from Half-Ass Beer Review.
Thank you.
Our good pal. He's been around the Comic-Con. He just got done with the session over at 7D's. One shot. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's awesome, man. I love the Midland Mall Comic-Con. I know there's people can say some stuff about it. It's a little different. It's not your typical Comic-Con.
Sure, not yet. Not
yet, but it's growing. Every year after year, there's more people.
Yep.
Like the cosplay event's huge. The vendors, I think, are improving every single time that I come here.
Exactly.
I love it. And there's always something I can buy, something I can do, like the 7 Dungeons stuff. There's a lot of 3D printing, right?
Oh, yeah.
And there's an odd amount of custom tumblers around
There's
here.
a lot of tumblers here.
It seems like a very
easy it's a cutthroat item.
Right, yeah. I've actually, I've whittled a few guys down. I saw a Detroit Red Wings one over here.
Master Splinter out there.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Splinter? It is Splinter.
Yes. In some of I think the more we do it, the more the costumes are improving too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm loving it. There's a few things that I saw that I just want to talk about.
Oh,
right.
Lay it on us.
This first thing, which I think it's different. It's not really Comic-Con related, but Cupcake Castles Travel Company.
Oh,
I am a huge Disney nerd.
You are. We know.
I probably talked to her for too long about Disney stuff, but just having a travel agent local is pretty cool and stuff like that, because I use one it's kind of a distance, but now I know I'm helping someone close. Critical Academy, I bought some dice from and talked about my recent Bard build.
Oh, really?
Yeah. As soon as I told him I had a Bard, he's like, dude, here's what you want. Here's what we want. Here's what you can do with it. Just a wealth of knowledge from him. And just,
really?
Yeah,
That's
he
awesome.
even wrote, he has some of his own books and stuff that he did just to help his community and stuff like that.
Oh, snap.
Very cool. Another one is Nate G. Draws. He does D&D crossover artwork. Right, I was telling you guys about this last night.
You did mention this.
I bought a Pokemon D&D crossover coloring book.
It was awesome, by the
to
way.
where he has just the standard first 150. I mean, there's only like 10 pages in it, but they each have their class and their race and stuff like that. Very cool stuff. He also does like Dragon Ball Z and some other kind of crossover D&D stuff, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And then there's another one that I forgot, and I feel it's like Scary something or other. It's down in that wing.
Yep.
But he does like horror crossover stuff. So I got a Pinhead Snow White crossover, and then I got a They Live Snoopy Black and White crossover.
The They Live with Snoopy one was amazing.
Yeah, it's like Snoopy has the glasses on and the kids are the aliens.
Yes.
And then it has consume, obey, and then good grief.
Good grief is one of the signs.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
And I'm a sucker for those kinds of things.
Oh, hell
and
yeah,
so
dude.
you get me here, and it's like, and the deals are good too. The prices are good. Over there, Nebula Amusement.
Yes.
They have some of the coolest dice towers.
I was checking some of those out.
The dragon wraps around it, and the eyes of the dragon light up. It is
Dude, whatever.
awesome. It's like a whole nother level.
How do you not come here and just drop? How do you not drop like $200 like in an hour? It's like a casino for some people. I come here, it's like money going away.
And then the Wombat Warrior himself, over from the 7 Dungeons crew, has Haunted Mansion 3D prints of the statues.
Really?
Oh my goodness! So he's already wheeling and dealing me on those. So he's
cutting
me a deal. I saw him and I go, whose idea was this? He goes, actually my neighbor wanted them and now I just have extra. He's like, I'll give you a deal on them so I don't have to take them home. I'm like, yes, I'll do it. Yeah.
That's great.
Always wheeling and dealing.
Yes.
No, I mean, and see, and that's the kind of energy. And I think when you get that word of mouth out there about like how much stuff there is here. I mean, tumblers aside, and there's nothing wrong with the tumblers. Just there is a weird amount of them. But I mean, there is a lot of stuff that a lot of people can walk by and be like, oh, I want that. Dude, I saw some guy, I think it was down that way by Starbucks. He had like these plates or like these glass things that lit up, like lighting. And he had ones that the Dungeons and Dragons logo all lit up in orange, and like you can hang it on the wall. It looked really cool. He's had like a whole table full of these these displays, and it looks really cool. And like I said, there's something for everybody. You'd be surprised how many times you just walk through, and you'll see a vendor who maybe they're not busy at the moment. But you see their table, and you're just like, oh, my God, like, I want all this stuff.
That's what happened when I just took a walk down to see the 7D area. I hadn't seen it yet, and I was like, I haven't been down this wing at all. And I'm looking at all the stuff, and Brittany's pointing out some of the stuff. There's some glass work down there. There's some like Pokemon-themed stuff again, too, that she's like, well, check that out. There's all this stuff, and I'm like, man, I haven't seen this area of the stuff, and there's so much amazing stuff to look at down there. It's just like, there's not enough time.
There's definitely a huge I think the quality of the top tier vendors have improved.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's getting better.
Yep.
I think as it grows, you see it. It's like, oh my goodness, like there's people that I want to see back here every year because it's just
And I think when they have the kind of success that a lot of the vendors have had, they're just like they come out with their items, and they're just like, okay, cool. I did good. Maybe I did better than expected, but then they're like, I got to raise my game now. Now I got to take this item that clearly people are really impressed with or really like, and I got to make it even better the next year. And then that's how you kind of just continue to grow those vendors. And we talked about it yesterday with Zach.
Yeah.
The quality of the vendors is what will keep people coming back.
Speaking of Zach, we made some purchases this morning from Zach over here at Starseeker. Again,
was awesome.
He's been already an integral part of this year and probably going forward with the MMMC. But he's got some great artwork over there, and I'm doing a comic book, more Marvel themed heavy bathroom downstairs. And we're sitting there talking. We already know we're gonna get the Xenomorph. She's looking at some other things as well too. And then as we're talking, I keep staring. He's got the Spider-Man one over there. Got Spider-Gwen on it. Spider-Man 2029 and then or 99 and like Scarlet Spider, all different versions, right? And finally, I'm just like, I gotta have that. Like I gotta have. I told him straight up. I said, this will be a centerpiece for my bathroom. This will be the draw for my comic book bathroom. And he does great work. It's digital art. He does like maybe on a pad or however he does it, but it's incredible because it's like a very interesting abstract too.
Definitely. And then I was here yesterday too, and I brought my daughter. She's going to be 6.
Oh, yeah.
And she had a blast. And there was stuff here for her.
Yes.
Yeah.
That Ghostbusters experience over there.
That's
is phenomenal.
Yeah,
I didn't partake, but I watched her do it. And it's like, so it's $10. And when I first paid, I was like, well, she's going to have a good time with it. And it's like, she's going to go in, she might do something. But it was just like, there was more to it than what I thought. Like, definitely a solid value.
Yeah.
Like you go,
the slime,
like,
and
you get a badge, first of all. And then you go in and you shoot some targets with Nerf guns, which is really, she loved doing that.
Yep.
And then they have a replica of the slime sewer from Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
And it's just like with Funko Pops and stuff. I was like, this is the coolest thing I've seen yet. Like you can put your fingers in the slime and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you color your own Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yes.
You get little 2 slime vials to take home.
She
loved it. It was a great. And then they tell you you're an honorary Ghostbuster now. You graduated as a Ghostbuster.
Certificate and everything.
And she was telling people last night that she's a Ghostbuster now. Every time she heard it, I'm like, this is great. This was great.
It's things like that. Like I said, that's by Creations by Generations, and they've done it. Every year they have some kind of like activity or display that is just the talk of the show. The kids have a good time. But I mean, it's not just the kids. There's adults that are going through these things because they're like, you see how much time and effort. And again, it's not something they just threw together. We talked to Sarah yesterday, and just the amount of effort it took to put that together, and the amount of people that it took to help her do it. I mean, it's a passion of love and or a labor of love, and it's phenomenal, and it's been well received by just about everyone we've talked to.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome to see. I'm glad Nora got to do that as well too. You know, she's a ball of energy as it is, but you know, we're big fans of Nora for sure.
She was out with us last night for dinner, and she had some energy. But I could tell when she was leaving, when she was sitting on the chair, I was like, I think it's starting to catch up to her. And
yeah, it was a busy day for her.
She's funny, man. She's got a great personality. She's dancing. She's doing all sorts of new stuff. So that's amazing. But what's going on with you, man? What's been new with the Half Past Beer Review?
Oh man, not much. I mean, I'm just trying to keep pumping out content, trying to find ways to evolve and stuff. I've been doing a lot of beer news lately and stuff like that. There's a lot of crazy beer laws and stuff like that, and just like really strange stuff.
Weird, like we have nothing else we should be focusing on. Let's worry about these these weird, just like I don't know if they're like bits. They feel like they're every time we talk about them, I'm like, is this like an SNL bit where like this is something someone threw together? Like, what is going on?
It seems like a senator in Tennessee trying to say, hey, we're not going to sell cold beer to stop drinking and driving.
Dude.
That seems like an SNL bit or something like, you know what I mean? Just like
wow.
You don't think a lot.
Right, yeah. I'm not going to just
hey, this is going to I got the solution to the problem.
Right.
If I'm going to buy the beer warm, I'm just going to assume, it's supposed to be a dry good product. I just throw it in the closet somewhere. Like, come on, man. That's so weird.
I don't know about you, but I've drank warm beer before and not had an issue with it. Of course, I wish it was cold, but hey.
When you need a drink, you need to have a drink. I mean, I've tailgated before. I know what it's like to reach into a bag and be like, this is not cold, but
if you're trying to tie one off, and like I always used to say, like it's the German in me, like we just don't care.
Yeah, you'll drink whatever.
I was at a Lions game before, right? And we go up to the concession stand, and they have M43 from Old Nation there, top tier. Hazy IPA.
They had that at a Lions game?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she cracks it open, hands it to me. I feel the can. I'm like, this is a warm beer. I'm like, she just put this in there. I took a drink of it. I go, oh, hell yeah. And then I finished it and went and got another one, and it was still warm, and I drank that one too.
Right.
So, yeah.
You don't want to change it up because maybe you're like, this is pretty good warm. Then you get a cold one, and you're like, then you're spoiled again. Then you get another warm one. I mean, you're like, just keep the warm ones coming. This is fine.
Yeah. So beer news, that's something new I'm focusing on. I'd really like to focus on getting out and doing some more beer quests.
Hey, it sounds like April. We're working on some details.
Well, hopefully,
we're gonna. Sure, because I didn't get the memo.
I didn't get one yet. I don't know. Is there a long sleeve option on there?
I told you. I put one on there.
Okay, he did tell me.
You need the long sleeve.
We listen to each other very well.
I didn't get the memo, so I didn't have my shirt ready. So it was like, cool, thanks, dude.
So hopefully we get down to Third Eye in April to brew some beer with them. And check out some other Ohio activities. We have some spots in Novi we want to hit up.
Yeah,
What's in Novi? What's in Novi?
Everything.
Yeah, Ascension Brewing Company's in Novi.
Sushi,
a rotating sushi bar. Like it just rotates around the restaurant.
Remember he was talking to Zach was talking about that yesterday? Yep.
So I mean, there's just cool stuff down there. Of course, we got Grand Rapids. I mean, we're just finding all sorts of spots that we know we need to hit up.
Yeah.
And eventually, we're gonna take to the sky with it because there's just cool spots everywhere.
Everywhere.
So as long as there's no like 6-day Metallica events happening.
Right. Yeah, and Tone bails on everybody.
We're gonna make some progress.
When Mighty Metallica plays, you stop life. All right.
It's a valid point.
Exactly.
Seek and destroy.
Exactly. See.
You understand? He gets it.
I get it. Rip Cliff, like, man.
But yeah, man, it's been an awesome experience. I mean, today it's starting to fill up out here. We've got, as you can see, there's more cosplayers coming in, and it's just been the beautiful weather. I mean, it feels like spring right now, and it's nice because I do feel like it brought out more people.
Absolutely.
And we've got the cosplay contest starting in just over an hour. I mean, what any standouts from yesterday for you for like the cosplay? Anything stand out to you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it actually because I had my daughter in tow.
That's right. I figured she'd be all like wanting to see it.
Well, we did get our picture taken with Princess Peach yesterday. She was a huge fan on that.
Dude, that's one of the ones that
was a really good.
Somebody who was it mentioned? Was it Ken?
Maybe, yeah.
Or Jeff? One of those two. They mentioned, and like she wasn't even in the cosplay contest.
No.
And she looked really good.
In the contacts and everything.
The hair?
Yeah, I know.
The hair was like perfect for it.
She didn't even do the contest. Like how you would have placed for sure.
And it was like sometimes Nora, she wants to do things, and then sometimes she really wants to do things. She was like, this is happening, Dad. Like she gave me the look and the attitude of her mother, and I was like, okay, we have to do this.
Next year, get her out. I mean, they had that kid. They had the kids section, and I mean, it was. Yeah. I think she could go out there and do some damage if she really tried. I mean, there were some good ones.
Yeah.
But Nora's obviously very passionate.
Yeah, the Ghostbuster stuff. Rick Moranis' character, I can't think of his name.
Lewis.
But the dude walking around.
Yeah.
He's rolling around here today.
Oh my goodness.
Too.
He's even he's got the shuffle down
yes,
like
he
him
does.
too.
Yep. He's
Yeah.
got. I think he even has it when he's possessed. He's got the.
He's got contacts in. Did you notice if you look close to his eyes?
Really?
He's got the contacts in.
So when his eyes glow.
When he's slowly turning into Zool.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
I did not see that.
There's also a Chainsaw Man guy walking
Saw
around.
Today,
him.
did you see him?
And it is legit.
Yeah.
It is like the coolest looking one I've seen.
It's got the
yet.
lights on it and everything.
Oh yeah,
too.
it's real awesome looking. So hopefully that guy.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few. I think today's contest is gonna be pretty lit. I think it's gonna be
huge.
very, very competitive. Because I don't know if that was the same thing last year, where like the first day, like Saturday, I don't want to say it was like a warm up day, but I feel like everyone was kind of like bringing out like something else they were working on. But then Sunday is like
our boy.
Sunday is like the big day. There's Jason walking around with the pour. That guy looks like he's in rough shape right now.
Yep.
He's a supporter. He watches the stream and talks to us on Facebook.
He does. Yep.
Been chatting with him all morning.
That looks so cool. I love
gnarly,
that.
Gnarly,
But no, man, we wanted to sit down with you. We got one more interview before we have to start setting up for the cosplay. But man, it is always a thin slice of heaven seeing you out here, man.
It's awesome to be here, and it's awesome to hang out with you guys. I love the show. I love the content you guys put out, and it's always fun to be on and just hang out. We always have a good time. It's
I
always
wish
a great
we
time.
could do more than 15 minutes. I'd love to have you
Right.
sit here through the whole cosplay contest, but like it's just it's so busy and stuff. But we got to get you back onto a proper show.
Yes.
Bring some beers. Maybe make
Yes.
that a Friday night show where we can
Get a little tied off.
go a little longer,
Yeah,
drink a
okay.
little more. Tone can
Okay.
have more than 2 beers over the course of 3 hours.
Yeah, okay.
Pass out in your backyard.
I mean, hey, that's fine. That's fine.
Sleep
I
in his
don't
bed
mind.
in the basement. He's got a bed down there now. Awesome.
But hey, man, thanks a lot for stopping by. We're gonna get ready for our next interview, so we'll be back in just a few months, and then we are just under an hour away from the cosplay contest. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. And welcome back. We are sitting here with Lee from Mid-Michigan Laser Combat. And he's got, I'm going to let Tone take over because I want to play with the toys, man.
Sorry, you have to do all the work.
Right. So, well, first of all, I know I want to say that, you've been pretty good pals with Paul now for a while in the Midland Mall Comic-Con experience. You guys have had, have been able to set up in here a few times as well, too. So, which is great. And I know he really appreciates it. And that's why, we were excited to be able to chat with you as well, too. So, how did you get to meet Paul? Or how did that come across?
Honestly, it's somewhat of a great question. I believe a long time ago, there was a Comic-Con that was located, I think it was SBRC, or it was the one located at SVSU.
Well, yeah, he had a couple.
Both.
Yeah, he long time ago. Yeah, and I know, I feel like it might have been the SVSU one because there's pictures of him and his kid doing the laser combat. There was some of the 501st, if I remember correctly.
We had a battle where some of the 501st, we offered them a game, and we're like, hey, we need to fill it in. So the best people is let's get a whole bunch of people in costumes.
Right.
Set everything for sci-fi and just
go for it.
Sci-fi duel right
Were they
there on the spot.
stormtroopers? So you probably won because they probably couldn't shoot.
The Rebels did, but they did have a pilot with them.
However, that
however,
balances things out a little bit.
Boba Fett was on the other side, so.
Oh, now you're in trouble.
Yeah,
that
so
changes that changes the dynamic completely.
It was
Got
a close
Okay.
one.
I thought it was straight stormtroopers because I was like, that wasn't even close. I know
Although
you guys
I can
won
say
that.
from seeing the experience, turns out those helmets are really hard to see out of. Like one of the people playing was like halfway through, they're just like.
So now it's not their fault. Now you're more sympathizing with them. Like, oh, that's why your helmet sucked.
That's what he said to us.
I think you blame that on the Empire. That's management.
Whatever works at that point. That's great. That's great. So, well, I guess the first thing, listen, I grew up playing, I know, and bear with me, and I'm not trying to say they're the same, but I did grow up out in the country, so paintball was the thing we went through. We would go to a little town called Owasso growing up, and we played laser tag like crazy in Owasso growing up every Saturday. Well, it was interesting. Saturday nights were D&D nights, and then we'd take a break sometimes and go play laser combat on a Saturday night. So we're not doing D&D, we're going to play laser combat or, laser tag or whatever. So in correlation to, like, say, especially the laser tag sort of thing, is this, in layman's terms, maybe like an evolution into that? From that, maybe?
This is directly an evolution from that. So the equipment we actually acquire came from somebody who started with laser tag.
Awesome.
They enjoyed laser tag, but they're from natively Australia. And so they were well, we are Australia. We have a lot of outdoors.
Right.
Despite the fact that it sometimes tries to attack you, generally we want to be outside and get kids outside.
Yeah, absolutely.
So their solution to that was to try bringing that laser tag arena and the environment to the outside world.
Right.
And interestingly, talking about airsoft and paintball, Australia has a different environment. Those types of sports are generally banned.
Right.
And so they don't have that opportunity to play.
Okay.
And as such, laser tag kind of fills in that role. And so to fill that role in, they realized what video games are offering, and we're trying to get an in-person way to give them video games in real life.
Yeah.
So they've been developing for the last 25 years the systems and technologies to do exactly that.
That's gnarly.
See, I've always appreciated that about laser tag because, like, you sit there and you play, like, when you're younger, you play GoldenEye with your brother or your friends. And you're like, okay, this is cool. You're playing in the cyber world and whatnot. But, like, you go to laser tag, you're like, okay, now my strategy really comes into play. And now we're playing for keeps a little bit more.
Right.
And you're kind of hoping you wear down the other guy by running around a lot. I mean, there's a lot more, like, strategy that gets involved with it. And I feel like it does make it kind of more badass when you're actually running around a part of that experience.
Definitely a good work exercise.
I could do it. That's the one thing I don't know if I could do it now. Because, I mean, I could probably be a badass for about 5 minutes, and I'd just, like, throw up the white flag, like, I surrender. I'm done.
Right.
Or hide behind a tree the whole time. That's all I would do.
Well, to be fair, there are worse places to hide, so behind a tree is good.
That's a good thought.
In the middle of the open is actually one of the
Laying
worst
down on the ground, just not so much.
In the fetal position.
Not bad.
It's the ones when you're standing in the open and they're trying to.
So basically, me winded, just standing there going.
Right. So basically, I'm an easy target. Check. Find a tree you can get behind.
I'm just wearing heavy armor.
In our defense, we don't have full body sensors, somewhat for that reason.
Okay.
So you will have a slight. I won't say an advantage, but you will have.
It's not much of an advantage.
A better stance than some of the other systems that have sensors everywhere.
Right.
And a nice bench where I can break. Right on. So, well, awesome. So, where are you now? You guys based in, like, the Tri-City area? Or do you have a base, I guess, is the question.
Do you have an HQ?
Yeah.
We are centralized out of Saginaw, Michigan. We do not have a physical property. We generally specialize in mobile organizations.
Okay.
So if somebody generally wants us to host a laser tag game anywhere, any place, So far, the general answer has been, do you have permission to play there? Yes. Awesome. Then we can.
Awesome. Okay.
That is one of the biggest caveats is, do we have permission to use either the property or anything relating to the property?
What's like the most ideal property for like easily accessible, like a park, or like do you even with parks do you have to?
That might be difficult public because people might be calling the cops and be like, "Yo, some good items, some guns."
Interestingly, we have solutions for all these things. The one thing I love to say about what you were to ask is, what is the ideal place? And I have to admit, because of the flexibility and because we try and emulate video games, I won't say any one is better than the other.
Sure.
As an example, from some of our locations, we play on the warship in Bay City.
What?
That's one of our public games.
Wow.
What?
So that's pretty cool, but at the same time, isn't it also pretty cool to go play into a wooded area that pretty much
it's kind of like
takes you
video
back to
games,
video
different
games.
maps. You have different maps.
Exactly.
Ah.
And so I think another one that we ended up used to playing at is we played in like, I think that my favorite is a church was like, here's our whole property. So we had one battle that was the entire building, the front yard and the backyard was all one game of domination. So you'd have people going in, fighting in the back, deciding this wasn't working, moving through the door into the main area, fighting over that area, and then being like, oh, this area isn't really working for us. We need to shift directions.
Man.
Yeah, you're
This
everywhere.
like you're like I like Rainbow Six Siege, so I love the tactics and moving around a map and coordinating and stuff. And you're talking about this, and I'm over here going, you're running this stuff. I'm going right now. I'm playing in the mall, bro.
Right,
I'm doing
right,
Siege
right.
in the mall right now. Everyone load up. I mean, that to me, that's fun. I think that's exciting. And,
Yeah.
and I like the fact how you mentioned you kind of bounce around to different venues,
Correct.
different locations, because you got to have that variety so things
Yep.
don't get stale. And it also creates natural new strategies.
Yes,
You can't,
absolutely.
playing on a warship or a battleship is a lot different than playing in the woods or playing in a
Yes.
church. I mean, that just creates so much diversity and so much variation. You just want to keep going back and doing.
Yeah, and then like we come down to taking all of those missions. We also have like 50-some missions that we've developed and can play.
Oh,
and so you start mixing and matching those with all the different locations we can play.
So much endless variety.
I
The variety is near endless.
That's
at that
crazy.
point.
I guarantee I'd go through 2 asthmatic breathers, but worth it.
That's
At
why
the
you
very-
get one of the bigger guns. It's less work to move around.
Yeah. Okay.
But man, like you can hit something from 3 football fields away. Do you need to run if you can shoot that far?
Yeah, he's more of a
like, I
hip.
want to,
He's more of a
but-
hip fire shooter.
I was gonna say I own a pistol, so I love like pistol shooting. So pistols as well too.
The
Maybe.
closest we have is the Mac 11, which
Okay.
generally emulates more of an auto pistol.
Okay.
That's kind
still-
of badass, though. I mean, that's
Yeah,
cool, though.
I mean, I'm down with that though too. But so what got you into this? What got you down this path?
It's always a very entertaining question. It's first off, going back years. Well, I started with Nerf, like every kid does.
Yeah,
Yep,
there you go.
everybody, yep.
Obviously.
Yep.
And then at that point, we started going into, Nerf is kind of cool, but not going to lie, it's a pain to gather all the ammo, and especially if you're
is.
playing in the backyard.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, you're never
yeah.
getting half of those again after you
Right.
play once.
Right.
So then one summer we did squirt, like water guns and had fun doing
What
water
were
guns. and
those?
that was
What
pretty
were the
good.
awesome water pistols of the '90s? What was the Super Soakers? Remember those?
Yes,
Those things
absolutely.
were dope.
That's what we were using.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, well, that way we wouldn't have to find the ammo. You had infinite ammo anywhere. You
My
didn't have to charge
lawnmower
anything.
finds all the ammo every time the kids go outside. I'm like,
Right.
just here, I'm like, damn it, dude, that's more bullets I gotta buy.
Yep.
So
And
annoying.
then at some point, we ended up finding an off-the-shelf system for laser tag,
Oh
which
wow,
was laser tag
yeah.
team ops, and that's when we really started. We started to go outdoors. We had different types, so we had deluxe handguns. We had rifles that actually at the time had grenade launchers on them, which was
Oh,
it created some entertaining stories. Aside from they had the same problem Nerf did.
right,
You'd shoot the grenade and they'd get lost some in the woods, and no one would know where it went.
right.
And at some point, we ended up trying this laser tag system, which there was a second location that was in Alpena at the time, and I was like, I saw them. I really wanted to try it. I really wanted to get into it because of all their capabilities.
Right.
The stuff they can do is near endless to the point where sometimes it even confuses some of our staff because it can do more than you would ever want.
Right.
And when we ended up acquiring it for the first time, like, game changer. Half the game is automated. You don't have to worry if people are cheating. You don't have to worry. Did they get
Right.
hit or not? The game system registers it.
Pretty
Takes
accurate,
into
like
account.
pretty
Yep.
accurate. So that's key too, because I don't know how many times in the past when I was younger playing kids, I'm like, I got you. Like, no, you didn't. I know I got
That
you.
takes care of the argument at that point, right? Yeah.
This thing just said you didn't get me, so now you're dead.
This
Now I
thing
got
makes an
you.
obnoxious scream to indicate that you're dead for you and the other people in a 50-yard radius.
Well, it doesn't.
Yeah. It's got to emulate so that way, like, the sounds these things have, because they have marine speakers that are like 3 to 4 inches, so
Yeah.
the area around you knows what's happening.
Wow.
You have somebody who decides to emulate a machine gun, and you kind of listen for it. You'll find a machine gun nest set up and start firing because you'll just in the middle of the woods. You don't have to
Right.
see them.
Dude,
Just have to hear 'em.
so rad.
Oh my god.
That's so rad. Before I know we want to see this up, but I want to ask you real quick. Out of all the maps that you've played or that you've set up, the venues that you've done it, give me your top, like your favorite map and the game modes that you have. Like what's the best experience you've had
Ideal,
so far?
yeah, there you go.
Like
The
if
best
you
idea or the best experience? Technically, there are two things.
Valid
Both
point.
are
Because
entertaining.
an idea doesn't always turn into a great experience. Like best
Correct.
experience so far, like in terms of like a location and the mode, time of day. Like what is like key for you? Like what stands out?
One of the ones that stands out for me specifically is we played Rush, and we played Rush on the warship.
What's Rush now?
Rush is essentially a mission where there's multiple spawn bases that have a limited amount of respawns at each.
Yep. Okay.
So you had one team, of course. Board the warship is a classic, famed one.
yeah.
You got to take it over. You got to push everyone out. Take over the bridge. Classic, what you'd expect.
Was it like
from
Rush mode in Battlefield? So you have like two objectives or whatever, and then you move forward or you
Correct.
push. Okay.
And
yes.
the game
Yes.
just
yes.
kind of shifts
Yes,
forward
yep.
over the period of the game.
That mode
and so
is-
the
that's fun.
battlefield kind of changes as you play.
Yes.
And so we played that on the warship. First floor was
Oh
kind
my
of the
God.
first one. Then
It's
we had
wild.
the second floor, and then we had the third. And it was 20 minutes. You need to get to the top.
Wild. Get out of here.
And so there's just fight happening the
Dude.
entire way up.
Man, that is just like I just want to go do this right now. But no, not to hold. This is what we got to see.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I know. He's like, you can see him over here down. in
I
the
know. I
end.
just keep side eyeing him.
I
Like,
know,
yeah, that's
I
cool.
know.
What's this?
Well, to be fair, it's one of the things where it's like when we were out here doing it with Fets in the past, when we were able to actually have the equipment on
Yeah.
the table. You say laser tag. We've had people show up to laser tag wearing bright red, and they're wearing sandals and shorts, and in the middle of the summer, and you just kind of like, they didn't tell you, did they?
You're gonna stand up.
Right.
This isn't what you think it is.
Correct.
Right.
Things
right.
have changed. I mean, do people get pretty like camouflage or ghillie suits and stuff like that, or?
We definitely have had some that do. We
Yeah.
had one person show up in a ghillie suit and actually just like right down to the ground and just use it exactly as needed.
That's
See, that's what I would have to do. I'd have to be a ghillie suit, lay on the ground. Don't have to worry about exhausting my breath. Just
The
take
other
people
entertaining
out.
example is we actually had a birthday party for a kid.
Yeah.
Where their whole family showed up. So their parents, their friends, their grandparents, and the grandparent was a Vietnam War vet, so he had some of his stuff on in his hat.
Wow. See, if I tried to do
It
that,
wasn't an even battle.
oh, I bet he probably schooled them. See, I couldn't do that with my kids. My kids would just team kill me the whole time. I'd be on the same team, then I'd just get back of the head every time. I'm like, come on.
See, plus side, we got you covered. Our systems have customizable abilities. One of those is friendly fire.
I'd want it on because then I'd shoot my kids. I'd be like, I want it off for me, but I want it on for me so I can take them out.
That's a jerk
Man.
over here.
No,
Totally.
that's awesome that you have all those little things because it probably makes it easier to introduce people to it when you don't have all the hardcore settings on.
Exactly.
You know, you started off like Tone likes video games on easy, and then over time evolve into the more detailed, gritty nature stuff. I mean, that's
We actually have different game modes to kind of highlight that. Is we have our public games.
yeah.
And those are just kind of, you have your sensor on the shoulder.
Yeah.
We give you a high amount of health so you can figure out what you're doing.
Right.
Some of the missions are sort of generally basic. Friendly fire's turned off.
Right.
Jamming is turned off. All the other
Oh,
features
damn,
are generally turned off.
Okay.
Just go have fun.
Right.
You have your advanced games where we give you like 4 times more space.
Mm-hmm.
Say, by the way, usually you don't have respawns, and if you do, you have all the property in the world that you can't.
How does
half the time fight
respawning
each
work?
other. Respawning is actually I would say commandeered ammo can that essentially has some electronics in it.
Uh-huh.
So you kind of look over the ammo can.
Uh-huh.
It sends a signal to your gun and says, if you are dead, you're now back alive.
Oh,
And you
okay.
can cater those respawns to any team, specific teams,
Sure.
limited respawns, limited reloads, etc. And
So
it's
are
kind of
there,
a
I'm
multi-role
assuming there's
purpose.
stations like you're dropping can here, or is it
Yes.
anywhere? Okay, so
It is a very specific can that you say, this is your base, this is where your front is
okay,
starting.
got you. So it's like your
Yes.
HQ. Okay, got you.
Yep.
Man, that's
And some missions have a couple of HQs, which make it interesting, but mostly it's just one-on-one.
just one-on-one. See, man, that's
That's
the
wild.
level of
That's
like
wild.
variety. That's what would keep me coming back, man. Because like I said, you do one thing over and over and over, and you're just like, okay, you kind of get stale. But
Yep.
there's just so much here in
Yes.
terms of like the variety and again the locations. I love that multiple maps. I mean, that's how you, man.
And if you want variety and want to pick up a gun, I can give you one of them.
I would love that.
Okay,
I would
because
love
I know
that.
you've been
I
staring.
have. I keep side eyeing this stuff.
So,
man.
Like a-
speaking of
Oh man.
random and changeable emulations, I'm just going to give you this, which may look familiar if you're a nerd. Notice how it might not actually be a gun.
Is that a pulse rifle?
Yeah, pull the trigger.
That sounds like a Star Wars.
That sounds like
that a stormtrooper? Because you can't hit the broadside of a barn, son.
I can't, man.
And
check, you do get the red dot.
Yeah, check out the front. Shoot it at a white thing. Every single time you fire, the front lights up, so that way if you're playing in twilight or you're playing the daylight, you see those flashes flashing in the distance.
Bro,
you know to look.
You're definitely blowing our mind. Why is it taking this long to talk to you?
Dude, that red dot is sweet too, man. Oh my god.
For the most part,
I'm not done.
Okay, maybe you need to reload at some point.
Maybe I'm just gonna go home with this. I appreciate the gift. That was so thoughtful of you. No, that's I know he wants to see it. That is amazing.
See it too,
I gotta touch it.
The audio is good too. Like it's loud. So I mean, that's really good.
It's
that
one
it's
of those
loud.
things where, in the woods, you want to be able to hear where fire's coming from.
Yes,
so
exactly.
If a firefight breaks out, you know where to look and you know where to go if you want to be a part of it.
Yeah. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, I'm dead. I died. Now there's not much left. Jeez, what a skeezix.
And this is the primary emulation for our sci-fi setting.
Yeah.
The awkward part is the secondary emulation we actually use is the stun round.
How does that work?
You got stun rounds too? Oh,
effectively, this one fires 6 points of damage. You can switch over weapons, so you can switch to stun.
Yeah.
Only does 1 damage, but it does disable the person, create like a shell shock sound in their ear and from the gun, and you cannot fire, but you can still take hits for about 10 seconds.
Wow.
That's gnarly.
And so you have people working as a team trying to figure out, well, everyone uses stun, no one's going to really die.
Yeah.
If everyone uses blasters, well, you can't really disable the other team. So you have these people trying to.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a good strategy.
Dynamics.
You've got stun. You're like, okay, look, I'm a terrible shot with the normal shot, but if I got stun and I can stun somebody and my team comes in and takes them out because they're vulnerable.
Exactly.
Dude, that's hot.
And that's just the sci-fi setting.
That's what's more popular with people, mostly sci-fi or military? I'm assuming military is the other.
The most popular one we generally offer, because it is our default, is modern military.
Modern military.
Because again, we also have Vietnam, Korean, World War I, World War II.
You got muzzle loading like back then, like that far back, or like I'm just guessing.
As a fun story, way back when we were testing, we did do capture the flag with buskets. We did do that.
You have to do like the motion.
Yeah, it was like everyone had 2 health, 19-second reload, and everyone was like,
19-second reload.
And then he just kind of sat there, hoping he did not get shot for 19 seconds.
Wow.
I'm like, where are those grenades? I was gonna throw those behind a tree. 19-second reload. I'd be like, just shoot me, dude. I'm not sitting through this.
But yeah, we haven't. It's a fun one. We haven't done it in a while.
Yeah.
Some of the more fun ones for us, I think Vietnam is good because we get the grease guns. We get some of the World War II. We get the M1 Garands. And we get to pull those things out.
Yeah.
Any of the bolt action rifles, there's actually a mechanic in the system.
I always thought that was wild about some of the Nerf
cool.
ones that my kid has. I'm like, he breaks out. He's like, I'm just like, wait, what? That's on a Nerf gun? No, but that's cool. I mean, just that authenticity kind of puts you in that situation.
Because when you're firing and you actually have to go open bolt, close bolt, pull the trigger again.
Yeah.
The best experience is we had a Frontier Day for a Boy Scout troop that was like, we're going to go do the Frontier Day.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, what if we gave you guns from the Frontier? And it was very entertaining to hear their conversations afterwards about, everything takes so long to reload. Why are the magazines so small? And we're like, welcome.
Yeah, was it M14? I think it was. It's like, what is it, like 6 rounds or something? Like, you got to take out this little thing and put it back. I mean, yeah,
like they had revolvers as their handgun. They had like, if you were familiar with the rifle,
the
they
rifle
had like
underneath,
lever action. So they had lever action rifles with like 7-round mags.
Wow. Yeah, I'd be like, this is too authentic. This is too authentic, man. It sucked back then. No,
I will admit, the kids learn.
I mean, yeah, good history
lesson. They were talking
lesson.
about Frontier Day, and they were like, "Wow, that is very different than I was
That's not
expecting
like Call
from a
of
video
Duty.
game."
Learn some stinking patience. You know what I'm saying?
It was really about strategy back then. Oh, we got a dog loose on the stage. I don't know whose dog that is.
There's a leash on it.
Oh, is there a leash?
On a
Oh,
leash.
okay.
Yeah,
Pretty cute one, though.
Yeah, you've got a whole arsenal.
Yes, that one was sci-fi. This is generally our kids' style, which operates as an SMG.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like an SMG, right?
Yep.
Dude. Got a front grip on it, and he's got a more SMG. Well, that's more like that's an assault rifle, isn't it? Or is that a
personal defense weapon?
That's a
PDF.
PDF.
There you go. Yeah, PDF.
And you know what? It's acting like a P90.
Oh yeah, there it is. That's a P90.
Pull the trigger.
Oh, okay.
Because we know you want to play with it.
I do.
Yeah, exactly.
You can spray and pray.
Actually,
say hello to my little friend.
Dude, that is dope.
Careful, we're gonna freak people out. Even with the orange barrel.
It has a tag.
Do you?
does it? Okay.
Reload.
So just pull the trigger and hold it down for a bit. You're hearing that click?
Yeah.
You're out of ammo.
Out of ammo.
Red button on the side reloads it because yes, it is manual, mostly.
Dude.
Give it some time. You don't instantly reload. It's a video game.
Authenticity.
This guy over here,
Get
yeah.
behind cover.
He's like, I'm in Call of Duty
wait.
right now.
Dude.
Yep.
Man.
And I'm thinking, if you didn't notice, what happens to the red dot when you pull the trigger?
Does it bounce? Does it give you that recoil? Oh, it goes away. Dude.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Dude, this one.
Yeah. just gotta hold it for a
Like,
minute.
I want this like right now, man.
Okay, you get to play with this one.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
That's gnarly.
Oh, you can do burst fire too. I like that.
Actually, you're on opposite teams. This ended very badly.
This thing is. It's got some weight to it, man. Like.
And so while his is a personal defense weapon, yours technically is an M16
Mine's
1962.
a battle changer is what mine is. Mine wins battles. Dude, that is
the hit sounds.
Was
Thank
that
you
the
very
hit sound?
much. Yeah. He's shooting you this whole time because you can't
yeah,
test
well,
him.
I'm wearing body armor. It doesn't bother me. I'm in God mode.
Something.
Dude, that
Give him a
is.
couple more shots to make the death sound for entertainment value.
That's heavy. That's heavy. I can do that. Will you stop shooting me?
No.
I'm trying to do an interview.
No,
Do you want
absolutely
to try the
not.
other one as well?
Yeah, give him that, dude. Let him feel power.
Do you want me to give you the other one so you can shoot him too?
I'm taking him home. I don't know what you're talking about.
This guy.
See, now we don't
So
have a respawn point here.
That is, dude, we'd do a match, a little one-on-one right now. 1v1 me, bro.
yeah.
Weighs in at about 9.5 pounds, definitely for the older groups. But I got to admit, like, the older kids like it.
Oh, I bet
older
they do.
adults, like our age, like, or younger kids, depends on your perspective.
How do you go about assembling these things? I mean, like, is it like a lot of time and effort and whatnot, or?
So they're acquired from Australia.
Oh, that's right. You
And while
mentioned
admit,
Australia.
the
Yep.
maintenance on them is
I'm imagining it's
sometimes
not
some
cheap.
fun
Poor
time.
birds.
Yeah.
But yeah, thankfully everything is generally bolted with plates.
Yeah.
And so in order to access one area, you just remove that plate, can get access to all the internals, do some repairs, check to see if the battery's burned out, etc.
Right.
Yeah.
How long does the battery last?
So running live in this sort of state, they last over 12 hours.
What?
Because there was an example, we actually did a live action role play that we were the small arms provider.
Oh, really?
And so it was like, they opened at 8 o'clock that day. They were running events. They were battle ready the whole time because live action role play, you never know when combat's
You're
about to happen.
LARPing with this? That is awesome.
And we turned them off at around 9 o'clock. And yeah, at some point they had a battle in the middle, but they didn't know when it was happening.
I quit, man. I'm doing this on Wednesday nights. I'm out.
right,
My Wednesday nights
So
from
LARP
now
was on
on.
the warship and was very Battlestar Galactica.
Dude. Yeah, what you know about Cylon, son?
Dude, that's amazing, dude. Those are, like I said, man, I like how they handle. I like the way they feel, I like the sounds. And like you said, the way that you are creating these experiences that are so diverse and just, I mean, that's a Friday night with friends just waiting to happen like every week.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is, do you do leagues? Is there any like leagues or is it something you looked into?
We have it in place. The main thing right now is the best way a league can happen is if we generally have a demand for it as well as a location.
Right.
Red Key
right.
Park, we talked with their Parks and Rec about it.
Yeah.
And because they were kind of like, well, we don't know if logistically getting everything out there
Right.
after work for 2 hours, then trying to get it all put away.
Right. Yeah.
Because we're mobile, gets a little interesting. So they were looking at doing a one day,
Once a month or like
they were talking like a 1 day tournament to start things off, see if people
see
like
how
it.
it works out. Right.
And then we could play really quick rounds, shake some teams up,
Yeah.
end up running into saying like you're going to select your teams based on the teams that are there.
Right.
We have a
Listen,
pretty dynamic system for it designed.
if you're watching this right now and he puts on one of these 1 day things to test, get your asses out there and play because this needs to be a weekly league thing.
which brings me to my question here. What does this, if we can ask, like what is this like something on average cost to have you come host or doing like an event like this?
So in the private sector where it's like you're not going to a public game and just
Right.
kind of doing a drop-in, if you're looking for a private game, our events start at $395 for 16 people for 2 hours.
Okay.
That's
okay.
doable.
So
that's
that's-
really
yeah,
that's,
everybody-
equipment.
that's a lot of people.
And you
That's
can kind of pick where you want to go.
Yeah.
We do technically have other things. We have inflatables. You guys, if you've seen us before here at the mall,
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
we can use an open space, put some inflatables
Yeah.
down. For our age, Squatting's a little bit,
It's not easy.
It's a
You stay
little
down.
tiring.
Yeah, you go down, you stay down.
Works
Yeah,
really
yeah.
well for kids.
Yeah.
I'm always in prone.
I can't even do crouch. It's either stand or lay down. I can't do the crouch thing. No, but that's
the
dude, that's
starting price
amazing.
for it. And then our public games start at $25 for 3 hours.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
That's
get a
doable,
chance to be
man.
outside, play some games for 3 hours.
That's
straight.
great. That's great, man. Like,
Can you play at night too? I mean, you got night missions and stuff, or is that make
I'm
it a
going to
little bit
tell
more
you this.
difficult? Uh-oh.
There is nothing public right now.
Oh. I can read between lines, my
there you
friend.
go. There you go.
I can tell that's top secret intel, and I'm not telling nobody.
Yeah, right.
No, that's like I said, man. That's awesome that you guys are continuing to find ways to grow and just get more accessibility for people, whether they like daytime or possibly something else later on. Who knows?
Yeah.
But that is, dude. Like I said, I'm ready to go play this.
Well,
one right now.
it's unfortunate that it's taken us this long to get a chance to down chat with you. We're gonna rectify that going forward. For one, two, we may have to, talk to you and maybe figure out some sort of because we got a small community of people with the Banter and Babble group.
Yeah.
Maybe we can figure out something sometime, plan something.
B&B community night.
I'm just saying, like a real B&B community night or a meetup or something.
Man.
But the last big one is before we have to get ready here for this cosplay. Where can the people find you? Social media, what best to follow? Because we want to make sure you're getting out there too.
The best way to follow, he's actually got it spot on.
I don't know if I can.
You're right. It's a little.
I'll tell you what.
out,
I'll put this up.
We're gonna get it out there. Yeah,
I'll get it on our
QR
Facebook.
code essentially is used for a link tree because as we've tried to pursue more people, we
Same.
found Facebook, we found Twitter,
Right.
we found YouTube. We have a presence. We also have an email list. We've kept adding places so that way
Sure.
people can find us on their favorite platform.
everywhere. Yeah, great. And we totally get that too. And I just want to say we're local here too. We don't have a huge outreach, but when you're a partner of Paul and the Midland Mall Comic-Con, we're making sure to tell all of y'all, if you need an outlet or an extra spot just to put out stuff, just holler at me.
Okay.
We got your back. You know what I mean? We want this whole scenario here. We're all growing together. Anybody that knows Paul like this, and we're all pals. We want to grow together as well too, or at least even if we can find one person out there that says I want to try that, and we can send them your way. That's worth its weight in gold. So
it's a great way to get from my perspective, it's one of the best ways to do gaming and exercise at the same time.
Awesome.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
I can totally see that. So. But Lee, man, it has been a thin slice of heaven, dude. We really appreciate it. I got the link in there for the chat. People go over to the website,
Thank
it out.
Pleasure to meet you as well.
Yeah, you too. Appreciate you.
Thanks a lot for joining us. This is again Lee from Mid-Michigan Laser Combat. We got the link in the chat. Make sure you check out. We'll also throw it, if you're watching this video on YouTube, the VOD at a later date. Look in the description. We'll have a link to their website. Go check it out. Like I said, I want to take these home right now. I want to do combat right now in the mall, one-on-one against Tone. I would school him. I've seen him play Halo. So, yeah, I would own him. But, hey. We're going to step away. We're actually going to kill the stream right now, but we'll be back probably in about 30 minutes and getting set up for the cosplay contest, which is set to begin at 2 p.m. You're not going to want to miss it. There is some fire costumes going around right now. Today's contest is going to be hot, so make sure you stay tuned. We'll be back in about a half hour. Hang around.